Are you kidding me? So this is the holiday shoe this year. So the year before that,
This is the holiday shoe?
yeah. So
What?
the year before last year's was the cool gray 11s, and the year before that was the Jubilee 11s. I hit on the Jubilee 11s. I should have kept them because they're like $400 now.
Yeah.
These actually do look like a bright red Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
Are you changing your
this?
mind now?
No,
Oh, all right.
this is a basketball shoe.
The-
That's what it makes me think of.
That's right.
I like them a lot, but I'd rather have the Georgetown 6s, I think.
All right.
So
Hey, these Dunk Lows coming out on Tuesday though.
Yes. I'm praying about it.
They look good. I'll go for
it's so cheap.
I don't know
120.
about
them.
that.
A cool 120.
Yeah.
120.
So cheap. Yeah.
I'd like to know why they keep giving everyone's favorite cry girl, Billie Eilish.
Those don't look bad
collabs.
though.
I wouldn't wear anything with her name on it.
But those don't look that bad compared to her other stuff.
Closing the app. Yeah, the last shoes look like shoes you'd put on people in a mental institution. They had those big Velcro straps that went
Yeah.
over them, and not one but three. It's like just in case you're concerned, one's not going to hold your foot down. Here's three.
Yeah. Yeah. We got we're doing a Saturday morning podcast this week because me and Ashton have a very, very busy weekend going on.
Talk to me.
All of our nights are booked.
What are you guys doing this
with
weekend?
shows?
Paid shows.
Yeah, I guess.
People are coming to see you.
No.
We're professionals.
No, we're playing the Christmas concerts at our church. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So we had to do a morning show. And to be honest, I like the morning shows. The one that we did before, we did one with Trey. I don't know. I don't know if I like them better, but I really like sitting around with a pot of coffee.
We've only
Yeah.
done one so far, right?
I like it.
I think this is episode 16?
I think 15.
15?
I think.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Still out of my chair.
When we were talking about a week ago about Tim made the comment, I can't believe how many episodes we've done. And I stopped and I was like, you know what? He's right.
Mm-hmm. Still have yet to miss a week, too.
Because I think that you could say our average length is 3 hours minus the cabin episode. I mean, that's 42 hours. So we've put almost 2 solid days of
Yeah.
us
I like it.
rambling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do need to preface this episode by saying my siding is getting done right now. So hopefully we don't hear any of the construction noise going on. But who knows?
Yeah, talk about that.
We'll
How's
see.
it going? How long have they been doing it?
It seems like it's going well. There was a kerfuffle that I'll tell you about. They started on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today's Saturday. It seems like it's been going well. They were tearing down the chimney siding, which me and my dad both knew because we had like a little leak in the chimney before, and you can kind of tell there was some damage around it. So as I tore it down, Tracy texted me yesterday morning and said they found mold like going down. There was a leak, I guess. There's mold, not mold, dry rotted boards going down into the crawl space. So they had to run to Home Depot, grab a bunch of new supplies. They had to redo some shingles around it. So that sucked. I don't know if he said it was major, but I don't know if it was like thousands of dollars major. I hope not. He hasn't really told me yet. So we'll see.
Homeowner.
Yeah, but I think they already got it fixed and they're moving on. So that was a little speed bump in the process, but it's starting to look really good. I mean, they call it the sheathing. Is that what it is? Underneath the gutters, there's like a flat board there, and or fascia, one of those. It looks really good. It's like pearly white, which has never been that color before. They even replaced a couple framing around the windows outside the garage that they saw were like molded out. They just like ripped them out and replaced them. So I think it'll look really cool, man. It's gonna be louder to you than what's in here.
I told Jesse I had to do a double take, Ash. I didn't know if I was at the right house this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thanks, man.
Money
Yeah.
well spent.
It's starting to feel, I don't know, starting to feel better once it's actually being done as opposed to like the months building up and you're like, I have to pay for all of it and stuff. So I think it'll look pretty cool. I don't know when they're going to finish. They're probably about halfway done. So I think midway next week, maybe they'll wrap up.
Once they paint it, you'll say, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited
It's
about
a big
it.
facelift.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. So that's the biggest project we've been talking about for about 2 years now. So that's a big chunk knocked off of it.
It helps too that you are having it done by someone that you know.
Yeah.
It eliminates that nagging suspicion of, am I being screwed on
Yeah.
this? You know?
Yeah. And again, he saved me so much money compared to other people we're going to charge. It was cool. I tried calling Zach and he didn't answer like a week or two ago just to tell him like how awesome his dad was, you know. Tracy's been awesome with it. He's been texting me every time there's an update. And my neighbor was even like, "Man, your sightings look really good." He goes, "Who do you have doing it?" I was like, "Let me tell you about my man Tracy Poston." I told him about him, and I gave him his number because he's thinking about getting some work done. So, yeah, man, it's been good so far, and it's been cool like getting back in touch with them. You know, it's been cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's getting done.
Yeah, I needed it. So investing.
Any plans for the trees?
There's a couple trees that I can take care of myself, but there's like one or two that are kind of leaning towards the house in the front that my dad said we're just going to rent like a scissor lift for a weekend maybe and just get up there and chop those few trees ourselves. What?
Your dad's so awesome.
I know. He's like, yeah,
We'll
we'll
just
just take
rent
care
a
of it.
scissor lift.
We'll just do it.
Take care of it.
Yeah. And now he has that wood chipper. So it'll
Sally?
make it, yeah, Sally.
Always finding the best things.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be the next project is chopping up a couple trees in the front, keeping it off of the siding that's getting done now. You know, no leaves falling on it or anything like that. I like those.
You want, I know that you've mentioned it in the past, but you want like a fully grassed lawn, I guess. Is the
Yeah,
way
in the
to say
front.
that. Yeah.
And the trees are the first step in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll happen eventually.
Caden's had that kind of issue too, where the house that him and Laney bought, there were a ton of trees in the front yard, and it had giant patches of just dirt where the grass isn't able to grow. And he's been slowly getting them taken care of because it's just so expensive to get
Yeah.
trees cut down.
Yeah.
But it's wild how he's done his front yard first, how much larger your yard looks when you have those trees taken out.
Yeah.
And you're also not worried about trees falling on your house every time a storm comes through.
That's my biggest worry because every time there is a storm, there's a branch somewhere, like a big branch that's fallen. And you're just like,
Yeah.
one of these days.
Yeah, because I think the last big storm, I ran over a branch in your driveway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, there's
Yeah.
a tree in the road.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be one of the next things. But for now, siding's going to be done, and then I'm not doing any more work for a while. Like leaving the house as is, worrying about finishing it up. So.
Just start a tree fund.
It'll be done in 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Tim, I haven't seen you all week. How you been?
Busy.
Working?
Overtime. Worked last Friday, Saturday. Worked this Friday. Was going to work today too, but
We didn't let you?
you didn't let me.
You had a podcast to do, Tim.
I did. I have 2 jobs. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it seems
Jesse
like.
and I have 3.
Yeah. It really is crazy, dude. How busy you get. So me and Savannah were writing out at the beginning of every month. She has that calendar in the kitchen. We write out like everything that we're doing. And I was like, let me text you my Christmas dates, or not Christmas dates, church dates, like practice and playing. There was like 9 days. I was like, a third of my month is being spent over there at practice. You know?
Because you were there Sunday, Thursday, last night, and then you'll be there today, tomorrow, and then we're back there again Wednesday.
And then the following Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm not complaining at all.
No.
I really enjoy it. But it was
Yeah.
like, you don't realize it until you see it on paper written down. Like, wow, I have a lot to do. Not on top of that, doing the recordings and stuff.
Somebody at
going
work
on?
said something to me this past week about that because I brought my Lego Christmas tree in
When'd you
Tim.
build it?
On Sunday. So I was concerned because that tree has a lot of pieces on it. And when I was over here last, I can't remember when was I over here, Jesse? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
I think it was the last time we recorded.
So it was Thursday. Jesse's like, I built it in about an hour.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh my, this man's like knocking 800 pieces out in an hour.
Yeah.
I think it took me like 2 hours and 15 minutes to get it done, but I went with the same tall build, just the single one, and I brought it in Monday morning. Instantly started garnering comments, man. Just people were like, someone asked me if it played music. I was like, you know what? That's actually a really good
Wow.
idea, but I was spinning the top,
Mm-hmm.
but
Showing it off.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Did you leave the candles on it?
uh-huh.
I took my candles off.
I took the hearts off.
Oh, okay.
And when I did the, not Diagon Alley, Hogsmeade, there were all these candy and ornaments that they gave me extra pieces of. So I actually put those on the tree
Oh,
in place of the
cool.
hearts.
Yeah.
So-
cool.
It ended up looking pretty cool.
I didn't know why they would put candles on a Christmas tree. I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, kind of dangerous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe they're the candles that they're having everyone hold at the church, where it's the battery-powered ones.
We can believe that.
But, yeah, people were like, one guy's like, you did this without any instructions? I'm like, no. No, I'm not that good. And then this dude that works in the warehouse part, he came in to drop a package off, and he said, "Are you a brickhead too?" I'm like, "No, not quite, man.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
dabbling in it." I told him I've got a couple of friends that are really into it, but
I didn't know they call that brickhead. Is that like a fan of
Never-
Lego or something? I never heard
Guess so.
that. Interesting.
sound like the man's part of a community.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. I bet he has a Facebook group,
Yeah.
maybe a Discord.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it definitely garnered some attention, and then I had that Japanese test on Sunday, and this lady I work with, she's like, Ashton, how do you have time to do all this stuff? Because the church thing got brought up too. I was like, I've got that orchestra concert coming up this week, so it's like the tree, the Japanese studying, the Christmas play. She's like, Ashton, how do you have time to do all this stuff? I'm like, well, I'm single.
That helps.
It's just me.
I never would have thought of that. That's funny. Hey, so you touched on that. How did the test go? Tell us about it.
So I could have definitely been more prepared for it. The fact that I've started this new job in September, and I'm learning so much every day at work, when I come home, I don't want to study because your brain just kind of reaches a point where it's soaked in all it can do, and you can throw whatever you want to at it, but it's not going to stick. So don't be surprised if I'm sitting for it again next December. But, you just take your best stab at it. My weak point is because I don't get to talk to people person to person, my listening is very weak, and there's only so much you can play. So they'll make tracks on YouTube, and then there's a book that I bought from Japan that is the Language Proficiency Foundation that makes all the study material. They have a CD, and it's just like those books that we played Essential Elements when we did band. There would be like a CD in the back of the book, and they play the track, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, you can only listen to those 4 or 5 times before you memorize them, and then you're not really studying at that point. You're just hearing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not fresh. So that's my weak point. I'm really good at vocabulary, and then my grammar is not great. So that's one of I've already started making my New Year's kind of game plan of what I want to do, and that's one of them, to kind of tighten up those weak areas that I have. But that's kind of where I'm at. I could have been better prepared. But now that I've done this a couple of times, I've got a good idea of what to expect.
This was your fourth level, right?
Yeah, so there's levels 1 through 5, 5 being the easiest,
Mhm.
1 being the most difficult. I passed 5 in 2018, so
Okay.
trying to get 4 knocked out.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's language proficiency in what?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Nihongo.
That. Yeah. Just for the people at home that don't know. Figured we'd
For our
update.
Japanese listener.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if we have any Japanese listeners. I doubt it.
Konnichiwa.
All right. Cool.
But man, the tree at work. I feel like if people just take a little bit extra, what would you call it? Like make a little effort to get festive during holidays, because the same thing happened at Halloween. You know, people are like, "Oh man, that's so cool." It's like all you got to do is just put a tree on your desk. You know,
Yeah,
it's not.
Or some lights.
Yeah.
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 But
Were you telling us about this new employee you had at your office a couple of days ago?
well, so she started the week before Thanksgiving, and then I guess she had already had plans to go to see a family member out west. So she took the entire week of Thanksgiving off, and then she came back. But just kind of the way that the chips have fallen with people coming in and out of our department, I've ended up being the trainee person, which is ironic because I've been there 90
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
It's already been that long?
Yeah.
90 days?
So I've been having to still learn things, and then I'm getting pulled off to like answer her questions, and it's been kind of aggravating because she's been brought in and is supposed to be like a position above me in whatever arbitrary hierarchy we have. Basically, like in finance department, you've got the CFO, who is the top of the pyramid, and then there's a controller who is my boss, and then there's all these, this nomenclature for all staff accountant or account manager, and it's just like we're all doing similar things, but I'm like having to show this lady how to do basic Excel formulas. It's like,
Is that something she should already know at this point?
yes. And I'm talking about things like, hey, if you've got a row of 7 numbers and you're using a sum formula at the bottom, you want to make sure that it's summing all 7 of those numbers
Wow.
and not 6 of those numbers.
Hmm.
I think it's she's definitely in her 50s. She said that she hasn't worked in 5 years because she had a child that was ill with something. So I kind of get that, but also it's the Excel stuff should be like riding a bike where, you're kind of rusty, but then you get back on it and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But have either of you had to train anyone at work?
Yeah.
And do you find yourself getting frustrated by that? Because I feel bad because I was in that position 90 days ago, but it's also a thing where when you get thrown into a new environment, it's not like a totally new field or whatever. If you already have a pre-established knowledge of what you're doing, you should be able to, like, when you're presented with something and you're not exactly sure of how to do it, where you stop and you say, okay, let's just zoom out and think about what I'm trying to accomplish here, But I guess it depends on how patient a person is, but you get something and you're like, I don't know how to do this. Can you come over here and help me?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think it's the fear that they don't want to mess up on like one of their first days at the job? They're afraid.
but at this
you
point, we're 4 weeks into the job.
Oh, yeah. That'll
And
do it.
you're submitting reports, and before you submit them, you're sending them to me and saying, hey, can you check this? And so I check it, and then the report gets submitted, and then something's wrong with it. And my boss is like, you signed off on this. Why is this wrong? It's like, well, I'm checking reports isn't the only thing I have going on right now. I'm like trying to do all this other stuff. So it's just been kind of aggravating.
Yeah.
Fake it till you
I mean,
make it.
It's growing pains, but also, you get to a certain point where you're like, hey, you kind of need to ride the bike on your own here and not have me standing behind you holding you balanced. So it's just part of the job. To be honest, I don't think she's gonna make it. She's already had like a couple of spats with my boss, and work has been exciting this week.
Dude, it's funny you tell me that because Savannah had that same issue the past 2 weeks. She is there's a term for it after a couple months of being a nurse, or I think it's after a year. You get certified to be basically a trainer of new nurses that come in. And she got this older woman nurse that came in. She's one of those traveling nurses. So basically when you're a traveling nurse, you go to different hospitals for a couple months at a time. And you basically have to learn a whole new system every time you go. So she was here, and Savannah said even after like 4 days of working with her, she told her supervisors like it's not safe for her to be on her own. I guess because she's older, she has trouble learning new things. That's natural. So I think the hospital didn't end up keeping her because she was making like major mistakes that Savannah luckily caught in the reports and had to go back and change someone's dosage or different stuff like that. Yeah. So
That's big pressure.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. And again, it falls on Savannah. If something happens, they go back to Savannah and say, hey, what the heck happened here? So she just went through that same thing. I think it stopped like a week ago is when she finally told her supervisors, like, I don't think she's going to be okay working on her own. So they ended up not even keeping her. So she was definitely going through that again recently. I train people at work every year, and it's the helpers. So it's not anything like a major. All you have to do is say, hey, take this package, run to this house, and come back.
It's not in your life. It's like
yeah.
Not
I trained a driver this year. Is the first time I've ever done it. Not officially trained him, but they put him on a car with another driver for 3 days, which it's supposed to be with a supervisor. So that was the first time I actually had the opportunity to like train somebody like that. But even that, it was, you just show him how UPS driver's not as serious as, besides the driving part, as a nurse or an accountant at a company. It's kind of just, you show them the process of how to do the job, and then eventually they just take over. Not a lot of little minute details you got to do throughout the day to remember. So nothing major like that.
Well, compared to Savannah, mine is nothing major either. We're just tracking dollars. We're not, injecting people with medication. So that's
babies too.
That's kind of important.
Yeah.
Tim, do you work pretty much on your own all day?
No, I mean, in different departments, I've probably trained 20 people over my 5 years there.
Wow.
But I just get
It's
fresh
been 5 years for you already.
in March.
Wow. Dude, March for me too. 5 years.
Yeah.
No, 6 years.
I'm 5. in
Wow, I
March.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just get frustrated because people don't learn as quick as I want them to learn.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Part of my frustration too.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, come on.
Yeah. Like after like 4 or 5 days, you're like,
Now, is that something you guys have noticed that you need to just get, not just generally asking, do you guys need to work on patience, or is it to the point where the guys are like, you should know this by now? The people
well,
that
if they
you're
ask
training.
the same questions every day, I'm kind of getting
Okay.
annoyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
But-
too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. It's like after you've done something 10 times, you shouldn't be asking me this. You know?
Gotcha.
And I'm not gonna say that because it's gonna jinx me. But I feel like I've been pretty cool-headed and not gotten frustrated. But it's because my last job I ended up working alone pretty much a majority of my time. But now I'm in a actual department with people, 10 hours a day, and there's dynamics of how the group interacts and is a good fit. And I've just felt like, in addition to kind of some of these training issues and a little bit of attitude issues, that this hasn't been a good addition to like our group cohesiveness.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting last few months of kind of getting back into that rigid system of having a boss and that boss having a boss and that boss having a boss, and like I've got more of a defined deadline task list, and when I don't hit a deadline, they're following up of like, hey, why haven't you hit this?
Yeah.
Well, I've been training for the last 2 hours, but
It's funny that
It's
you bring up your last job. What was happening at your last job?
yeah, so I got a call from my boss, my old boss yesterday. He called me 2 days ago, and I was in the middle of something, and he texted me and said, hey, give me a call when you get a minute. And honestly, I forgot to call him back. So he texted me yesterday about noon and said, yo, that's all he said. I was like, oh yeah, I got to call him back. So I called him, and always kind of weird when you have a former boss hit you up, especially when I haven't really talked to him in 3 months now. And there was this lady that I was working with at my old job, Christina. And
Oh no.
he said, he started off asking me, I processed payroll at my last job, and that was probably the one aspect of my job that I took the most serious there, because we ended up having about 140 employees when I left, and having that pressure every week of making sure that 140 people don't get their paycheck screwed up is stressful, because if you mess someone's paycheck up, they let you know fast.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Thankless
take a
job.
while? Like how? Like
Yeah, it was an 8-10 hour process. So it would take me all of the day and then part of another day. And that's not 8 hours of uninterrupted work, like you're doing it and someone's pulling you or sending you an email and you got to hop back and forth. So
A lot of distractions with that part.
I would start Monday morning, and I would have to have it submitted to our payroll service by Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and it would typically be Wednesday 1 o'clock that I would have it submitted. So, but because of how small our company was, even though 140 people's nothing to scoff at, I really didn't have a lot of oversight over payroll. So it definitely would have been easy for me to take advantage of that. I learned how to, not illegally, but kind of make it to where you can pay yourself without reporting it as taxable income.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh no, this is an expense reimbursement, because on your paycheck that gets listed as just like,
Yeah.
you spent something for the company and they're just giving you your money back. But anyway, he called me to ask me if this lady that I used to work with, if she had the same basically administrative permissions that I had. And I told him yes. She was also the one that I trained to do payroll when I left. So she got handed that duty over. So anyway, he proceeds to tell me that she had like bumped her pay from $60K to $80K. Like basically had jumped it up $20,000, and like paid herself a 6-month bonus, had added all this vacation time to her account, and
Holy crap.
I was like, dude, you're kidding me. So I told him that, like, when I did it, I made a folder each week that I processed it, and I had it broken down by like totals for the company, and then I would break it down by restaurant and then corporate. And he told me that he had gone into the payroll system and that he had gotten suspicious because she was talking about all this extra vacation time that she had. And he said it just didn't make any sense because of like how much vacation she's taken in the last year.
To
So
him,
he-
she was telling her that? Or she was telling him that? How much
Right.
vacation time he had?
Yeah.
Genius.
So he got suspicious and got in the system we use, ADP. And he's pulling her pay stubs from prior periods, and he said it was just like every week it was a new amount, where was like expense reimbursements, bonuses. Her pay had like shot up.
How like illegal is that? Like how much jail would she get jail time?
He could definitely do that. Yeah.
And you worked closely with her for what, 2 years?
It really shocked me. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought that.
You said 6 months she paid herself bonus.
A 6-month bonus. Yeah. And he told me that he had fired her immediately. So it was kind of a complicated thing because she got married back in March and her husband lives in New York. So she moved to New York and she's been working remotely since then. So she's not even in the state. So I don't know what the bottom line ends up that she's, fudged, but he told me that he had fired her and he was asking me questions about how to trace stuff. And he said, I went back and checked your pay stubs too, and everything was the same. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not.
Yeah.
Ashton's like, don't come after me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mess around with that stuff. Because you do end up in jail, and there's few things worse you can do as an accountant than to steal money, because your whole thing is supposed to be trust with money.
Yeah.
So
Did he say if he's going to do anything?
no,
Man, that's crazy.
he fired her.
Bumping your pay from 60 to 80. And
I mean,
doing a bonus.
she really was counting on him because he hasn't, and he really never did when I was there.
He's so hands off, right?
Not looking at it. Yeah, he was so ingrained in operations that, I mean, you do have to a certain extent, trust people because you can't, when you're running a company, get in the detail of everything. He definitely could have. I think it would have been good for him to spot check, like just to make sure that, especially the people controlling the levers, like, is there anything funny going on?
Jeez.
But that really blew me away. So
I thought you were going to say he was going to offer you a job with more
I
money.
wouldn't be surprised if he came back to him in like a year, Ashton, and gave him an offer.
Even
I
if he
wouldn't be
did, there's no way I could do it now. There are bridges that you build with people, and you try to keep those good.
Justin, one of them.
And I couldn't blow that bridge up. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that would not be good for me to do. So even if he had made me an offer, I wouldn't have done that. Unfortunately, I don't think that the company that I left will be around, or at least the owner will be involved with that franchise because it was dying when I left. And I told him yesterday how sorry I was because she was really the person that was going to handle all the administrative stuff, and now she's gone, and like there's no one. So he's got to find someone to come in, and it's just a mess. So I really hated to hear that, but it's crazy, man. Like there are people you work with, and you think.
So
you knew her? Like,
oh yeah,
dude. Yeah, she even would like mess around with me.
Yeah,
like she seemed cool. Like we send each other voice memos instead of text sometimes. Me and Ashton, and she would overhear it sometimes and like give me crap back. Through Ashton for like 6 months maybe. She gave me crap about drinking Heineken. You remember when I used to drink Heineken? It started with that.
She's had a very rough life. Her mother and father were both drug and alcohol addicted, and they basically dropped her and her sister off at her grandparents' house when they were 7 and 5, and like she remembers it. Like her mom just left her there, and they got in the car and left, and she didn't see her for years. So she had a very rough upbringing. She got married young, and it was not a good relationship. She had a baby during that short marriage, ended up divorced, and she has raised her daughter as a single mom her whole life. And then 2 years ago, her daughter has a aneurysm in her brain that ruptures, like paralyzes the whole right side of her body. She still hasn't recovered from it. And for whatever reason, her biological father didn't have her health insurance stuff updated the way that it was supposed to be. So she's got like hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical debt. And I think that that's part of like what it's like, okay, let's try to find a motivation
Right.
there.
And you're backed against the corner. You kind of start doing some stuff you would normally do.
Right. I mean, her daughter's 20 years old. And it's like she's been handed this horrible hand of cards,
Mhm.
and what does a mother try to do in a
Yeah.
situation like that? So try to do a different perspective on it, but it's like, man, like you can't steal.
Yeah.
That much money. It's a large
Yeah,
sum
not
of
even
money.
easing into it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's weird. I would have never guessed her of any of the people.
Yeah. But life's a party every week.
Yep.
It's always something new at work.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I really never had to train people at my last job, but I'm learning the joys of training new team members. That's, by the way, what they told me
Yeah.
at work. They're not employees. They're team members.
I notice that everywhere now.
When I first got on there, and I did this at my old job all the time, when I'm sending an email to a large group, I would say hi all or hi everyone. And so I did that, and then I got a message from my boss. She's like, say hi team. I'm like, okay.
Whatever you
Which,
say.
I mean, I guess
Gladys.
that does sound kind of rough, like hi all,
Yeah.
but
Doesn't flow.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, listen, enough with the work talk. Let's get into some fun stuff. Me and Ashton watched some video game award stuff last night, Tim.
Oh my gosh. We need to show him this after the show.
Yeah.
What
Al
was
Pacino.
this for? Like what? Oh, like was this just overall, just like
Oh, yeah.
everything?
Yeah, everything. It was the yearly video game awards, game of the year, best actor, all that nonsense. But what we wanted to talk about was Al Pacino came in to give the award of best performance, best actor in a role. He gets up on stage. The man's got to be 60, 70 years old maybe. I mean, he's getting up there. And he gets up, and you could tell he's starting
You've
to...
got this room of young gamers. People got
Mhm.
different color hair, crazy outfits,
Yeah.
and you have this 60-year-old man walk out on the stage who
And the
doesn't
whole-
play video games.
And
He's
the whole
older than
crowd,
that.
the whole crowd was like shocked to see him. So I don't think anybody said Al
Like-
Pacino's going to be here hosting or giving an award.
Shocked in a good way. It
Oh
was,
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was like
They were
when
like 82.
Oh, wow.
it was like when Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
came
Yeah,
out.
I mean, the place erupted.
It was a
and
good kind of shock.
Yeah.
But continue, Jesse.
So he gets up and he's starting to, not that he's stumbling with his words, he doesn't know what to say. And you start to see him squint a little bit. And he finally just calls it out. He goes, I'm having trouble reading the teleprompter. So he can't even see the thing, first of all, doesn't know what to say.
no
then-
script. So at this point, he's
Yeah.
in no man's land.
He showed up that day and was like, hey, just read the teleprompter. You don't need to worry about learning anything. And then, so he's getting through this, and kind of in the beginning of his monologue, he goes, I don't play video games, but but he's reading the teleprompter. He goes, but I watch my kids play video games. And the place erupts, of course. You can tell his heart was not in it. But what I loved about it was that he called it out early, and you can tell he was just having a good time with it. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't like an actor who was faking like he's a big video game.
Why do people do
Guy.
that? They always pick like someone who's not qualified to do the show.
Those
Yeah.
game awards are always just it guaranteed cringe is going to come
Yeah.
out. Like
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's cringy, Tim.
Yeah, it's cringy. They could have at least done a little bit of research and found an actor that plays video games, because I'm sure there's thousands of them. Henry Cavill is one of them. He's a very, very big gamer.
And you pick an 82-year-old.
Picks an 82-year-old actor, who does not play video games and can barely read. But I loved seeing him there. It was great. We were loving it. So he gave the award to it was the actor of the year or whatever. It was the guy from God of War, again, which I think that's the second time he's won that. When the first God of War came out, he won. It was either Game of the Year they got, or he got the best role,
Okay.
So I pulled up a lot. Game of the Year. Do you think you can guess what got Game of the Year?
I think you can.
Let me tell you this. Remember that game Stray? The stupid cat game?
Mm-hmm.
That was up for Game of the Year.
It's very popular.
It's very stupid.
Is the Game of the Year on everything, or is it PC exclusive?
Everything.
Everything.
It's a big game. I should probably just give them the nominees for it. You can
Yeah,
probably
do
guess.
that.
I give him that. Yeah.
I don't know if. Okay, let's find that out.
Was it early in 2022 or was it recent?
We don't give you everything.
Yeah. Let him give you the names.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim.
Okay.
Okay, 6 games: Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring,
Elden
Horizon. You got it.
Yep.
You got it.
You
Yeah.
didn't have to say anything.
Well, God of War
God
and
of War
Horizon.
was on there.
Oh.
Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West was on there also. But I'll tell you this: Elden Ring cleaned up at the awards last, or not?
No,
I'm sorry,
God of
War cleaned up. They got best narrative. They got the best performance. Christopher Judge was the guy's name. Best score soundtrack, best action adventure, and best audio design. They destroyed. Which, if I remember right, they destroyed when the first one came out 2 or 3 years ago. They cleaned up all the awards.
How did they determine that? Is that fan voting or is
I think it's fan voting.
that's just interesting because you would think that if God of War took every category, that would therefore make it the best game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Elden Ring's the best game, but in terms of category, God of War is everything else.
It's okay. So it's 90% voting jury, 10%
okay.
fan.
So it's internal.
It's 10% fan. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not all voted like that. But, I mean, it's hard to argue with the winner, you know?
Oh, no. I thought Elden Ring was, which I haven't played God of War, so I can't speak to that, but I thought Elden Ring, the little bit that I played to it, Trey, shut your mouth.
He's beat it 7 times.
Ashton didn't even hesitate. He went straight for it. He didn't even want Trey to be entertained.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's funny.
No,
So
it's,
what about
it's
it
good.
that you liked?
The game is beautiful. It came out pretty much polished, perfectly polished.
Can I ask you why you stopped? Did you just was it too big or did you just hit a wall?
It's too damn hard, man.
Hmm.
I got skill checked,
I love when they call it skill checked.
and I was like, dude, I can't beat this just playing, 45 minutes after work each night.
Yeah.
I've got to actually grind this hard. I love the game. I mean, the soundtrack, the world, it's all awesome.
Do you see yourself going back to it?
No,
No.
not unless I get a job that doesn't involve me working 45, 50 hours a week
Yeah.
in front of a computer all day. I hate it. I mean, I come home and I do want to play games, but I just don't want to be in front of a screen.
No. I get that. If I was to stare at a screen all day, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel whenever Ashton, when he gets home from work, he goes for a walk for an hour or so. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody was like, you should, it was probably Savannah. She goes, you need to probably go for a walk every day after work. I was like, I walk for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
I was like, when I don't get home, I don't need to do exercise. I'm the opposite of Ashton.
You
I
need
want to
to
get behind a screen.
Like meditate.
Yeah. I want to get behind a screen. I'll meditate and play some video games, but I'm not walking. So, but yeah, that's I wanted to ask you this, Tim. Most anticipated game. How stupid of an award is that?
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb.
You don't even. There's not even a product to
Exactly.
judge.
The
You're
game.
just-
What if? I think actually, Cyberpunk won that one year,
I'm sure it did.
and that's what I'm saying. And then the game comes out and it's complete crap and it doesn't work, and they have an award for it.
There was a.
Bigger it is, the harder it falls.
That's right. That's ridiculous. So I think that's stupid. But what do you think most anticipated game was, Tim?
I don't actually know this. I would say Harry
I-
Potter.
That's a good one. You want me to give you the things?
The nominees.
Yeah. This is fun.
Here's our list of internally generated most
Yeah,
anticipated games.
Elden Ring.
That must be for 21.
This is 22. Oh, I guess I should say 23 because it's next year.
Come on, Jess.
Starfield. Street Fighter 6.
Oh, Starfield. Okay.
Forspoken. Interesting. Legend of Zelda. Suicide
Ooh.
Squad. Kill the Justice League, which I think looks really cool. We'll talk about it.
Ooh.
Diablo 4,
Blizzard.
Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Alan Wake 2. These are actually really big games.
I am a fan of Diablo. I like Diablo franchise.
Diablo 4.
I like
Wow.
the Harry Potter and Zelda.
You're close.
What?
You want to guess or no? Let me just tell you.
Yeah, just tell me.
It's Zelda.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of surprised up against Hogwarts. Honestly, Final Fantasy 16. I feel like that would have a
I
huge...
bet you Hogwarts gets pushed back again.
I don't think so. They're putting out way too much saying it's going to be ready in March. No, February.
Do you think Final Fantasy has very many new fans come on, or at this
No.
point it's pretty much a kind of solid fan base? And
I think that's
That's
what
it.
it is. I think there's no new people jumping into that.
But there's so many old people, so they can keep making them.
That's true. Till they start dying off.
well, they're probably in their 30s.
Yeah, they're not old.
True.
They're not old.
Yeah. Best mobile game. Because that was an award.
Genshin Impact.
No.
I
I didn't even know this was a game.
I think I do know it.
What is it?
Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
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 Really?
Marvel Snap. I've never heard of it.
I wonder what. See, I hate these titles. What does best mean? Like, what does that
Yeah.
mean?
Marvel Snap is actually really popular right now. It's a card game.
Is that most players? Is that most money generated? Like, what does that mean?
Best quality, I would guess. I don't know. It's probably
I
a
guess how
mixture of
many
everything.
people are playing it currently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Best esports.
Esports. League of Legends.
Mm-mm. I know.
CS:GO?
No.
What?
I know. Valorant.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I can see that. See, I don't remember all the games on the top of my head, and when
Yeah.
you say it, I'm like, yeah,
All right.
makes sense.
You know what I should do then? I'm just going to pull up all the nominees. That's what we're going to do for a little bit. What do you think?
I'm here for it.
What is this for?
This one's going to be best multiplayer games. Best multiplayer game.
It's not Pokemon
of
Scarlet.
20
I'll tell you that.
Absolutely not. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Wait, what?
Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, yeah, it just came out. Why did I saw Infinity Ward and thought it was Infinity War from a couple years ago. Multiverse. You remember that game? The DC one? It's actually kind of cool. Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2. Splatoon 3. And Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was nominated.
So those were all the choices?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to go with Splatoon.
What do you think, Ash?
I might actually have to say Splatoon as well.
You guys are correct.
That's been a weak category, I would say, this year.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty's in it, but I don't know
You
how
just
good
know
it is.
what you're getting there.
I
though.
think they're the same every year, and I don't think they're gaining players. I think they're losing players. It's getting more complicated and harder to play.
But I would say that with Splatoon, I feel like you know what you're getting. It's the same thing every game.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
Do you
I
know,
also
do you know
would-
what it's about?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shoot paint.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't think that Splatoon has anywhere near the player base. Even if Call of Duty is losing players, like, I would still think Call of Duty's player base is
I think so.
much
I mean,
larger.
yeah, I check on Steam on the Game Hub on Modern Warfare to see how many people are playing it. It was over 100,000.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And just on PC.
Asa and his friends still play Call of Duty on and off, and they got the new one when it came out, and he played it for 3 days and then kind of stopped playing it. And he said it's just another Call of Duty game. He said he didn't like how realistic they've made everything.
That's the
they're,
problem.
They're leaning into Battlefield.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
two choices growing up. You
Yeah.
either play Battlefield or Call of Duty, and you didn't play Call of Duty for the
Realism.
yeah. You played Battlefield if you wanted that.
Yeah, I agree. They're really leaning in too much into Battlefield, and I don't know if you've noticed, that Battlefield's leaning into Call of Duty a little bit.
Is it?
They're getting a little bit less realistic. I've saw. They're more like quick action stuff going on. Call of Duty was, if you want to jump into a game for 15 minutes, Battlefield was an hour. You
Mhm.
know,
The
huge
were-
maps.
Yeah.
25, 325, whatever it was. Which now I think it's like 40v40. I mean, it's literally a war zone. So that's what it was back then. But now it's kind of, Call of Duty is just so hard to play now. The time to kill is really short now. I mean, 2 bullets and you're dead.
And you have to heal yourself.
Yeah. You get med packs and stuff. You get armor plates. It's turning into that. Yeah. So I haven't played Call of Duty consistently. What's the last game you jumped in hard on with Call of Duty?
Black Ops 3.
I think mine was when they remastered Modern Warfare.
I think I got 8th Prestige on Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
But I really played it for the zombies.
Yeah, those are good zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, have they put out a bad zombies?
No. And honestly...
Black Ops 2 I didn't like. Zombies.
Yeah, I didn't like Black Ops 2.
With the
but
farm?
Yeah,
I didn't like
you
that.
traveling. I would say Black Ops 3, Jake always tells me to get it on PC because you have unlimited maps. You can just go on the store and download all the modded maps with any
Wow.
kind of category. You can play on RuneScape.
What?
Yeah. Zombies
Wow.
RuneScape. Yeah.
I think I'm buying a PC. That's all it takes. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Black Ops 1 Zombies was awesome. Tanner and I played that nonstop. Kinder Token.
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Kino der Toten.
But that's
whatever it
why
was.
Black Ops 3 is so good because you have all those maps.
Mm.
The same maps, just better.
Was that your favorite Black Ops 1?
Yeah, and I
Zombies?
stopped playing Call of Duty after that. I never played the online. I've never liked online multiplayer like that. And I just felt like the stories for Call of Duty progressively got weaker and weaker. And that was what I cared the most about. So I kind of fell off of it.
Did you get any of the like DLC maps in Black Ops 1? Like Ascension, Moon, all of those?
Were those in Black Ops 1?
I think so, right? Derice, they added later on.
Mm.
Like remastered Derice.
Always a staple.
You think that's the best map in Zombies?
It was the fan favorite.
You remember Derice, Ash?
They renamed it to like the Giant.
Yeah, that's true. It was the map where you started in and then you had to connect the 3 teleports.
Yeah.
And then once you did that, the electricity came on everywhere and all the doors would open.
And then you can upgrade your weapons at the start. The door goes down.
I think it was the first map where you upgraded weapons, right? I'll pull up a video.
Yeah.
I love that map. And there's a reason why. I think it's in almost every Call of Duty.
With the
now.
catwalk, you could go in the very back of the map and you go upstairs and there's just this long catwalk where you could just camp and all the zombies have to come up the stairs. And you all kind of just sit there and shoot at them.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll show you some.
If you show me a picture of it, I can tell you.
it's a small photo, but
Pinch zoom into that one,
here you
man.
go. Here you go. I want you to peruse through those. That I think was my favorite, and I think it started on Black Ops 1, right? That was the first time you can get it.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Derice.
Derice was on World at War.
Was it really?
The original one
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that one
You're
I played.
right. Because
Yeah.
I didn't play the remastered one.
so World at War had the 4-pack. It
Mhm.
was the original map you always had, and then they came out with 3 later on.
Not on World at War, though. There was only one on World at War.
No, there was 4.
You had Beirut, Shino Numa.
And then
Derice.
Derice was
Yeah.
the 3rd.
Yeah.
They stopped.
What?
That was a DLC pack they added, I think,
Oh.
a year later, maybe.
Yeah, those were all original maps.
Yes. And then you can buy that 4-pack map in Black Ops 1. Well, 3-pack. You never got the original one again.
That was in Black Ops 3.
No, because we played Derice in Black Ops 1. You can get all 3 of those
Well,
again.
I guess they did that again.
I think
They
those
kept doing
3,
it.
they were always available in almost every game, I think. I don't know if it was in 2, but it was
Black
back
Ops
in 3.
2 was like they didn't do anything in that one.
I didn't like it at all. That was when the jetpacks came in, right? And
I don't.
no one even
remember.
played online.
We barely played that one.
Yeah,
It was bad
I didn't like it.
because that was also with like the boss fights, right?
What was it, like George Lucas or something? Who was it? Who was the director you fought?
That big guy.
Yeah,
Who had that big hammer thing?
he was the director of the
run
movie they
around.
were doing.
I think so. Yeah.
That was like the ice level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. I missed
Zombies
these.
just got way more complicated.
It did.
They
had
try to make it like a whole like story. I was like,
But do
just-
you remember when we would go to school and that night we were like, "Oh, you guys want to get on tonight? Let's do it." And dude, we played with Roland, I played with Tanner, played with Adam, played with Noah and AJ. I mean, everybody was like you playing zombies tonight? And you get
Yeah.
on and you have 9 friends online playing, man.
Mhm.
Those were the days. Man, those were fun. I think Zamir played with us. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He played with us too.
Yeah.
Navarro. Everybody. Everybody played that. It was awesome.
On Black Ops 1, the movie theater one. That was
Kino.
That was Kino.
Yeah.
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 That was a good one.
I
Probably.
mean, yeah, it was cool logging on and you had 2 separate groups of friends had full parties playing zombies, you know?
But you were all in the same party.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that was so much fun.
I hated back then
360 days.
when the 360 limited how many people you could have in a party. You could only have 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so what do you think is a game? Not saying that I want to do this. What is a game you would imagine that all 3 of us could jump in together and play?
I'll tell you what it's not. Overwatch.
That's not what I asked.
Um,
I'm giving up on Overwatch right now. We'll get there.
I don't know. I
What's a game you
think-
can see all 3 of us playing? Whether it's Diablo, because like all of us kind of have different strengths when it comes to RPG games, you know, or just like it's definitely not Overwatch, obviously. What do you think a game would be like? Hey, yeah, I could play that with you guys.
I think we're all too different. Our play styles.
Yeah, but you don't see any game that there's a crossover. I think it would have to be some sort of RuneScape type game where we're all in the same world together, but not doing the same thing, you know? At the same time. This is a thought exercise.
You stumped me.
Yeah, kind of figured.
I don't have a game. I would say
Yeah.
something where there were different roles. We could play different roles.
My
don't-
first thought was Destiny, but
I was going to say Diablo 3. That one time we played it together was pretty fun.
we played it together.
At one time.
Oh.
Yeah.
But see, this is the problem I always get into when I get into a game with friends and I really get into it. I surpass people too fast, and then because at certain points, like if I get addicted, I'll sit and play
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And Jesse can't do that. Like he'll get like he wants to move and get up. And
Listen, I guess it just depends on the game because me and Trey played Overwatch for 5 straight hours one day. Me and Ashton used to do that for 8 straight hours. I think it might just depend on the game now.
well, if we get into a game,
I'm just saying I know the time has passed, but it's nice to think about. Yeah.
I saw that question in the notes last week and I couldn't think of a game. Not one game.
I really can't either. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have anything in mind. Not even Pokemon?
No.
Unfortunate.
I would say
I don't know what else to say to that.
I would say maybe like a single player game that we all play at the same time that we go on our own pace but we talk about
Yeah.
it. But I don't see a game that we get into all 3 together that we all play in like the same world.
Yeah. Destiny was an interesting idea because we all played it at one point. But now I think that it's just not worth it.
No,
The new season came out this week, though.
it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah.
We're 4 DLCs behind. That's one of the things I was going to talk about. Is there a game that you wanted to play but it turns you off how far the game is progressed and you feel overwhelmed if you were to jump into it?
Yep.
What's that?
Destiny, World of Warcraft. It's just
They do things like, I remember on Destiny, like if you purchase the newest DLC, you would get this cube that your guardian could absorb and he would get to that current DLC's like level, like to where you could start from that DLC and go on. You didn't have to like fight through all the other stuff to get to that point.
right.
So I kind of like that, but at the same time, you're like missing all this stuff you're
Right.
paying for. So, and they only did it with one. So if you made like 3 separate Guardians, you couldn't do it for all 3. But yeah, I always wanted to jump into World of Warcraft, but they're decades ahead of.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I've never had that urge to play World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. Interesting. Yeah, I never had that. I think because I already like, if I'm ever going to go to a game like that, it's going to be RuneScape. But again, sorry, Trey. I don't think it's happening.
you both have shot Trey down really hard
I know.
instantly.
I know. He's been hitting League of Legends really hard past week. Getting back into it. He said he was good. They were going to play Destiny, and I think one of his friends were waiting on an update, so they went to League of Legends while I was updating, and they never went back to Destiny.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have either of you ever played that League of Legends?
No.
Nope.
Ever watched it?
I've watched it. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I've never even tried.
Whenever I play it, I don't want to be stressed out in roles, so I just play against bots. That way I don't have to disappoint anybody. And I can learn the game at my own pace. I probably put in probably like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, but I probably watched a lot more than that on Twitch. There's just some games that you are more enjoyed watching than playing, and that's one of them for me. I watch CSGO too and Valorant, but I would never play them.
I don't ever watch esports.
No?
Mm-mm. I feel like I would enjoy it. I just don't.
I always watch the tournaments. I don't watch it just when like they're just playing. I watch it for the big tournaments. I like the players' reaction and when they're in the like stadiums and the crowds there.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah. I'd still love to go to an Overwatch one in Atlanta.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Would you do it? Even if you don't care to watch the game, I think the atmosphere would be pretty awesome.
Tickets were cheap too when Jesse and I bought them in 2020. I think they were $40 or $50.
Yeah.
You already went?
No, they canceled
No,
it
they
because
canceled
of
it
COVID.
because it was in April of 2020.
Yeah. It was horrible. Is there a esports game you would go to? No question.
I think Valorant would be fun to go to.
You'd pick that over Overwatch probably?
Yeah.
But if me and Ashton are going, would you be like, yeah, I'll tag along?
I'm not.
So no.
I'm not
He's
one of
like,
those.
I don't
I'm
know.
not one of those people who like
No.
to go in a group just to go.
He just
Me either.
indirectly fires shots at you, Jesse.
Yeah, I know he did. I'm not one of those people. Thanks, man.
It's just if I'm going somewhere, I want to enjoy the thing.
By yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like you can't tease me with a good
I
time.
know. He doesn't care. He has a good time anywhere he is.
Yeah. So,
Hey, why does Blizzard suck?
well,
Oh, Tim wrote that?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
it wasn't
wrote
me.
that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
I
that
thought it
wasn't
was
me.
Jesse.
so I was very iffy on talking about this because it has to do with part of y'all's Christmas gift, but it's not going to get here, and it's just so.
But our Christmas gift isn't coming in time.
No, it was here. Let me talk about it. So on
Is this going to give it away though?
it was a small gift. It wasn't like your actual gift. It was just like a side gift.
I ordered you guys another side gift this past week.
So let me say I ordered this on November 14th.
Okay.
And I didn't get it delivered till November 30th.
It's 14 days. 15, that ain't bad.
Everything else I ever ordered, like 3 days.
Was it coming from somewhere in the States?
Yeah.
Don't tell me this is the only reason why you're saying Blizzard
No,
sucks.
no.
Okay.
There's a whole chain of events that had gone on.
Okay. Let me
So-
sit back and sip on my coffee.
So I ordered it on November 14th. I get it on the 30th. I go to look at the box, and I'm just going to tell y'all. It's Overwatch 2 products. It's coffee mugs, okay? They're cool coffee mugs.
Ooh.
So I get it, and one of them is just completely smashed, like just
Nice.
in like 4 different pieces all over. So I try to call Blizzard, and you know those things where they're like, we're getting a high volume amount of calls
which
right now.
everything
Yeah.
you call in
So
says that.
I wait like 10 to 12 minutes, nothing. So I hang up, I email them, no response. So I wait 2 days, email it again, no response. Wait 2 more days, email it again. So I email them, and they come back with every email I say I need a replacement, I show pictures, and the email they send back are like, we're so sorry. Let us know if you want a replacement or a refund. So I email them again. I'm like, I would like a replacement. And I still haven't gotten a response. And it's been probably, 2 weeks.
That's absurd.
Keep in mind, they're a $60 billion company.
Yeah. Which means their customer service is going to be shat.
So at this point, I'm not expecting a replacement or a refund. So there's one coffee mug.
Do we get to fight over it?
And
No,
I'm
you just keep it.
I'm really pissed off about it because
That sucks.
they're really cool mugs. But I'm just like, at this point, I don't even want to talk to them anymore. so I'm just gonna take my losses. I've sent
He's like, I'm just gonna keep it for myself.
I sent another email yesterday, and I know it's Saturday, but they should still be open.
Yeah,
on
at this
Saturday.
point, you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and sit on the phone for an hour and a half until you.
It's unreal.
It does suck. I've dealt with those kind of crappy customer service before, and you're just like we're the reason why your company is in business is your customers, and when you don't even show us the light of day, and then you get some places where they email you back in 20 minutes. You know, they're like, oh,
I was
yeah, we'll
gonna
take
say
care of it.
that. I emailed Funko and I got a refund the next day.
Exactly.
The next day,
Wow.
and then on this, it's just crazy to me. It took 2 weeks to ship. Then I get it. One was broken.
Was it
and
packed well?
It was all right. It wasn't like the best.
Yeah.
They had bubble wrap on it, but it wasn't like
So this came from the Blizzard gear
Yeah.
shop or whatever?
yeah.
Was the box damaged, like the shipping
Nope.
box? So it was messed
That's
up when
fishy.
they shipped it.
Yeah, that's fishy. Or it's just crappy bubble wrap that they didn't wrap it well enough.
So, and the other one looks good, but I think there's a chip on the top, like just like a little chip. But
They really are the worst.
like at this point, I'm never gonna order anything on their
They're
website
just
again.
the worst.
I can't even get in contact with anybody at all. Let me show you.
You
the
can tell
picture.
it's probably one of those companies that uses that like Shopify stuff, or like their emails are very generic when they email you back. You know, it's not a person that's emailing you.
Right.
Look at that coffee mug, just like cut in half.
What in the world? That almost looks like they just put it in the box like that. How does it crack if the shipping box isn't jacked up?
Yeah, that's
Look at
ridiculous. UPS would never do this. It's like, wow, that is crazy.
It almost looks like someone took a hammer and just smashed the side of it.
Cool mug.
Yeah, it is a cool mug. It's actually like
Yeah. Sent numerous emails with little help. That's what he said at the
I
bottom.
love it.
and all they said was
Someone copy and pasted a template email.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
And odds are, because they did reply to you, you're going to get an email eventually, but it's probably going to be in like a month and a half. That's like, yeah, we sent a replacement out. Sorry about that.
I would just like an email saying, yeah, here's another one sent
Yeah.
out. But no. And I thought since I emailed them December 1st, I would be able to get a replacement in time for next week.
Yeah,
No.
that sucks.
So
I had that issue with Lego when I ordered that Disney castle, and the box was kind of like dented in on the backside. And I emailed them, and I'm not kidding, within 15 minutes, a person emailed me back and said, hey, these are the things we can do. What would you rather do going forward?
yeah.
Then he said he even went as far as looking up when they're getting their next shipment because it was out of stock. He goes, November 4th is our next time we get these in stock. If you ship yours in, we'll ship you another one on November 5th. Like, he was super, super cool about it. Like, those are the companies you appreciate and keep going back to, you know?
I'm never
crap
buying
like
anything
that.
off their website ever again.
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience just when I had to return Tim's gift
Yeah.
the first time. It was like within 15 minutes, someone
Yeah.
got back to me.
Yeah.
So it's just,
I hate that.
it just depends on. It's almost like the larger the company gets, and I know there are exceptions to this, but the larger it gets, they outsource their customer service, and it's like you can't get anyone to help you. And then when you do, it's either some template they copy and pasted an email in, or they're not going out of their way to try to help you.
And then they send you an email 2 weeks later. We'd love to hear feedback.
Yeah.
And then you send in feedback. No one's reading that.
It's like, well, take a seat because I got something to say.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes into a folder that no one will ever read again. So there's no point of even doing the feedback.
Yeah. I thought about just buying another one, but I was like, I'm not giving them any more money.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So
That's
'Cause-
stupid.
for 2 mugs with shipping was $44.
Yeah, that's quality.
Where's the shipping at?
Yeah.
I paid like $8.95 for shipping.
Then you got shafted on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was already broken when they shipped it because the box wasn't banged up at all. So,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Some jackass in the distribution center is like, I'm going to show this Tim guy.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your mug.
He thinks Overwatch 2 sucks also. He's like, let me show you how much they suck. Let me send you a crappy mug.
yeah, so that's why Besides all the other reasons why they destroy their games, and
Let Jesse tell you about the skin distribution system for season 2.
I almost don't even want to get into this.
don't talk about it yet because I really got it.
I do too. I'll wait till Tim comes back though.
All right. That's cool. Hey, we don't really hear the siding much in the
I think it's
Ears.
because they're doing it in the back.
yeah. They just finished up the chimney, it looks like.
It's very quiet. I would say they're not going to work all day since it's Saturday.
Yeah.
I bet they'll go till lunchtime and then stop.
I'm surprised they came in, honestly. On a Saturday.
Oh, there's no place like home.
For the holiday.
Did the show get you in the Christmas spirit last night?
What show? Oh, yes.
The show you played in?
I was thinking a TV show. Yeah, man. Did you enjoy it? I think it went really well.
The TV show that did too, man. We'll talk about that, but I thought it went well.
Yeah.
The whole thing of being able to have a room full of people again after COVID, I'm so much more appreciative of that now
Mhm.
because I remember when we were in the heat of all that pandemic stuff, you were thinking, man, are we ever going to get back to where folks are in a room again?
Yeah.
But it was good. I felt really festive after the practice Thursday night.
Yeah.
Everyone just seemed like they were in good spirits, like
Yeah.
clapping and all that.
Yeah, I noticed
So-
that. Yeah. Yeah, I think it really, really well, man.
The stage, I'm glad that it got added as far as decorations because when we had those early practices, it was still looking pretty bare.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
And to be honest, it still looks bare. It's very minimal, but I think it looks good. They kind of pulled it off.
it is. Do you? When'd you buy those?
Oh, finally you're noticing
He's been trying to get you to notice him this whole
When
time.
did you buy those?
the same day that I sent it.
Maybe like 2 weeks
they look
ago?
good. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I'm seeing Tim with a pair of ones on his feet again.
Yeah.
One Lowe's, no less.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like them. I like the color. Whose Golden Girls coffee mug is that?
Pat's. It says, did you see what it says on it? It says stay golden, and one of the girls is wearing shades. Found it at Cracker Barrel.
That's funny.
Yeah, I had to buy it for him. I get him a little something every year because I still use his house every Wednesday that I have practice. I go over there and shower and stuff. And like every 3 or 4 times I'll leave like a gift card in his room or something because I don't want him to feel like I'm really inconveniencing him.
Is he not
No.
home when you're there?
He has been since he got this new job. He's been home. So we've been able to hang out. I'll bring him lunch every time I'm there. But I don't know. I just like to do that. And almost every time I'm like, please tell me when this is becoming an inconvenience. And he goes, every time he goes, oh, trust me, I would tell you. So that makes me feel good and bad, I guess. But no, I get him something every year. I don't know. He's one of those good people, man, that I want to keep in my life no matter where he goes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I have those people like Seth, like Navarro, these people who live far away, but I still consider really good friends.
Seth's a good one.
Yeah. I don't like Pat's one of those people that he's tough to stay in contact with because he's so busy, but I like to let him know that he's a good person, you know? So I leave him a little something every year, but I usually get him something Switch related. I was going to get him a gift card this year for like a Switch game, but that felt kind of, I don't like giving gift cards. We've talked about this before.
Does he still play the Switch regularly?
He's been playing Splatoon lately.
He got the 3rd one?
No,
The
2.
second one?
Yeah, he never went back to the third one. But
Jake
and then
hasn't done that either.
he'll play Tetris a little bit too.
Tetris?
99. He was big into that for a while. But yeah, I thought about getting him a Switch game to kind of like getting him back into it, but I don't want to assume he's going to play a type of game that I would give him. So went with that. The classiness.
So let's talk about this Blizzard skin system. What's up? What's wrong? Did they make it progressively worse from the first season to the second season?
I don't know if it's worse because it was pretty bad the first season. But I'll start. Let me bring it back a couple days. So they put out a video like 2 or 3 days before the season starts with a 1.5-minute video. Here's the new character. Here's all the new skins. Here's the theme. And it was. Did you watch it? There's a new new character.
I mean, I watched the
Um,
new hero announcement, but I didn't watch
okay.
like anything else.
So the whole season is Olympus themed.
Yeah.
So all the skins are Poseidon is in it.
Oh, you showed me all of them.
Yes. So they're all awesome skins. Almost every single one I was excited for. So opening day, season drops. I get in. I go right to the battle pass because I want to see if any of them are in the battle pass. None of them are in the battle pass. I think maybe one of them. It's Farah's, and she's at level 60, which she was there last season. Which that I'm not upset about. Whatever. So I go into the store to see where all of these cool skins are. Not a single new skin is in the store because they do like a weekly rotation, or every couple days they rotate skins in and out. So I have yet to see any of these awesome skins they've been promoting. They're not even giving me the option to pay them money right now to give me a cool skin. That's what upsets me about it. They got me all excited. Sign in. Not a single new skin.
When you say pay, you're gonna have to pay money for those skins.
I would assume so because none of them are in the battle pass.
$20.
All legendary skins are $20. Assuming all of those ones they showed us are legendary.
That's so much money.
It is so much money. I'm not saying I'd buy all of them, but I want the Reinhardt one and maybe the Roadhog one, the Cyclops. He's kind of cool.
So you pay how much for the battle pass?
I think it's equivalent to $10.
Yep.
But I had
There's-
enough gold that I got the battle pass for free.
So there's a season 2 premium battle pass, which is $10, and then there's a premium battle a premium battle pass
Plus.
that will boost you up to tier 20 immediately, that you can pay $12 more for. So for
That's normal. That's normal.
$22.
Yeah. Every game that has a battle pass gives you an option to give them more money so you can progress.
But I
faster.
don't think it's that much more money.
I
Like
mean,
in
well, in other games you can earn it.
but
This
in-
game you
yeah.
can't.
But in other games, like even if you were to get the boost, it's not $12 more.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a lot.
That's a
It
ripoff.
might
That's a
be.
lot.
Have we looked at the Brawl Stars one? Because you can earn them, but if you were to buy gems, how much would it be?
It's an extra $6.99.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it is a lot. I'm not backing Blizzard at all, but it's becoming normal that you can pay them more money to jump. So, but that's the part. That was just the worst part. I wanted at least to buy opening day. I would have bought a skin. I would have spent $20, got a skin, didn't buy the battle pass, and then just play the game. But since there was no skins in the store and I had enough gold, I just got the pass because it came with a free soldier skin.
Did you are you completing every pass? Like
Last one I got to tier 60, and honestly, I didn't even like grind to get there. So I think if you just play regularly every couple days, you can max it out. But I don't because every 10 levels there's a skin. You get a legendary skin. The past 2 battle passes, 60 was the highest I wanted to go. So I don't feel like I have to complete them. So I got to level 60 to get the Pharaoh one last season, and then I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. I'll just play whenever I want now. If they would have put those legendary skins every couple 10 levels, I would have probably maxed it out this season. Now I have no reason to play the game again. Like, you need to give us a reason to play your game.
Yeah, I think they're just banking on people who played Overwatch and just really want to keep playing, but it's not really like that. I think they're losing more people than they think.
I think so too, and I want to look up the numbers actually because it cannot be growing.
Mm-mm.
There's no way.
I'm just, the more I look at this, the more I just want to find the nearest object to hit myself in the head with. Why is Junker Queen Zeus?
Because they're progressive.
What?
That's why. You know that.
I'm just not going to say anything else.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Add it to the list of why we hate them.
Yeah, and I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Let's move on.
They have 23 million active players. And I don't know how good that is. There's no chart or anything, but I don't know.
Active players.
I
Active
don't
players
believe
is what it says.
That's a lot of people.
Past
I don't
30
believe
days.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. I'm gonna stop. To this point, I think I'm annoyed with them so much. I'm just gonna play when I want to play, but have no anticipation for anything coming. If I log in and happen to see a skin I want, maybe I'll pay for it. And on top of that, even more, in the video, they showed it's this festive game mode with all these festive skins. None of those are in the game yet. And
It's
we
2
are
weeks till
2 weeks.
Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah. it's
They
not-
shortened their holiday mini games from 3 weeks, the last game, to 2 weeks this week now, or this year. So you only get the stuff for 2 weeks. Horrible.
It should be all of the month of December.
I agree. Up until New Year's or day after.
Yeah.
Like I said, they make a good game and then they destroy it.
Yeah, you're right.
It almost makes me miss the original model of this expansion deal where it's like, all right, here's a DLC, pay us $20 and you get everything in it.
Everything.
Now it's just, I mean, what is this? Like 60 days since season 1? So now you're like shelling out $20 more for the battle pass. Then you got to shell out $20 for each skin that you want. Well, yeah.
Mhm. And then 20 for skins, yeah.
20 for skins is a lot of money.
It is.
It
They
is a
should
lot.
have like a skin pack, like you get all the skins for that event, and it should be a flat rate. Maybe
Yeah.
$20 for everything.
They do that with one character. So you'll get a skin, a player icon, and an emote or whatever for whatever the price is.
And it'll say, we're marking it down 37%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always odd percentages. too.
Manufacturer suggested retail price on this bad boy is
Horrible.
$50.
There's no suggested retail price. You're just making up a retail price. It's a skin.
Exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Get out of here. Freaking Blizzard.
All right, before we finish with the game talk, I have one more question for Ashton. Pokemon Scarlet, update me.
I haven't played any since we last talked, so I've got nothing
That
to
was
add.
quick.
There was a patch update that I believe in last week's episode we were pretty skeptical about how quickly they were going to be able to fix. It's mainly the frame rate issues. The frames are dropping. I would say that the multiplayer is borderline unplayable with
Well, we
all
haven't
the
tried it
issues
since the update.
that we had. Yes, this is prior to the update.
Yeah.
It was still fun, but this supposedly targeted the frame rate issues. I didn't see anything specifically mentioning the online player, online multiplayer. I am looking forward to playing it. I'm going to play some today.
Yeah, we are.
Once we wrap up. So hopefully the
Awesome.
frame rate issues are better because it's a great game. Besides that, it's just very unpolished. So I do think that they will be able to fix that with subsequent updates. Two, this is I think the Switch is 6 or 7 years old in March.
6.
6 years old. They're hitting hardware limitations because I don't know about your fancy OLED over there, but my Switch sounds like a jet engine taking off when I load up Scarlet.
Well, good
You
thing
have a
yeah,
fancy
good thing you
OLED.
have an OLED in your freaking closet that you got gifted to you from a friend who worked real hard to get a second one.
You did not gift that to me. I paid you for
Doesn't
it.
matter. I went out of my way to get one for you. And then you throw it in the closet and complain about your crappy Switch. I
Listen,
don't want to hear it anymore.
No,
I don't wanna hear it.
I'm not going to trash you. I had to sleep in the bed that I made.
That's right.
I ran my mouth for 2 months, and then you delivered. So
Got that right.
It's okay. I ran my mouth too, and I didn't do it.
Well, because I know you wouldn't have paid me for it.
He
you would
didn't
have said,
even buy
I
you
don't
one.
want that.
if you had pulled out 3 switches,
Yeah. He'd be like, I don't want this. He would have shot me down right away. So, listen, where I wanted to go with that question is, and Tim, you can jump in on this too. Where do you guys normally stand as far as training or collecting the Pokemon? Are you a guy that gets a party of 6 and prepares for the final 4 the entire game, or are you like, I want to evolve this guy. Once I evolve him, put him back in the box, pull another one back out, and keep going?
Nope. I do it in a certain way. I get my 6, train them all to level 100, then I beat the whole game really quick, and then I go back through the game and then just do everything.
So you fly through it.
Yeah.
You don't ever take your time
Nope.
playing the game.
I fly through it, then I go back and discover everything and catch everything.
And I think Ashton's the opposite as far as taking your time.
I pretty much know by the 3rd or 4th gym who I'm going to train for my 6, and then I focus on those. I will catch anything that comes across on my way to the Elite Four, but I'm pretty much concentrating on training and beating the Elite Four. And then once you do that, because once you beat them, the world opens up where
Mhm.
like you can go everywhere. And I think it's a better playing experience when you have everything opened up.
Yeah.
To like go
I
back.
I was one of those people where I would try to maneuver past all the things so I didn't have to get stopped every time and battle everybody
Okay.
because I just wanted to get through it. That way I can go back.
Mhm.
Well, here's
True.
my thing. I say to your point about the whole world opening up. In Scarlet, the world's already opened
It
up.
is. This is a slightly different game.
Yeah. So Tim, you don't ever explore for a new Pokemon in that area.
Nope.
You go directly to the. How do you train then?
I mean, I do battles and stuff, but if
You don't bother catching at all.
I don't care about catching, not
Okay.
until like I'm done. Like my objective is just to beat the game.
That's funny because I'm kind of a mixture of both of you guys. Then I catch every Pokemon I could find if I don't have it. I train a little bit, but I go to the gyms real fast. I'll fly through the gym, beat it, and then once I beat the gym, and this game is a little different, obviously, Tim. I'll beat the gym, then I look at the map and see the closest gym, mark that as my next, destination, and then along the way, I'm catching, I'm training, and then once I get there, I'm beating it. I don't really hover in an area much, which I think
Yeah.
you do, right, Ash?
Yeah, certain areas. Yeah.
Yeah.
My only objective is getting all 6 to 100 around the time that I'm at. The
So
Elite
will you wait to make them to 100 before you start? Or once you get there, you just, as long as you're over like 60, 70.
If I'm at least 80, I'll try for the Elite Four. But I prefer, like the last game that I played, I got all of them to 100 before I did the Elite Four.
And then you probably just mowed
Holy
through them, didn't
crap.
you?
Yeah.
Mine was like 70 when I did Pearl.
And which is funny because the Elite Four for Gen 4, that's a lot of fours I just said. The Elite Four in Gen 4 is considered by a lot of people to be the hardest Elite Four.
Shining Pearl? Or Diamond and Pearl?
Yeah, it's
Really?
Cynthia is crazy strong.
Mhm.
Yeah, that Spiritomb was real tough.
Her
and
team's
then her
Garchomp.
Garchomp
is the
Milotic.
last one, man.
The
Yeah.
Milotic is really hard too. She's got a really strong team.
Yeah, this happens in most games. I'm the type of person to way over train and way over prepare.
Oh, yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I'm not a strategy guy. I'm not. Let me make sure this move I have. Make sure this Pokemon specific to this Pokemon. I want to be overpowered and know whatever Pokemon I'm using, hit him in one kill.
Like brute force
walk away.
your way
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
And that happened in Shining Pearl. I did look up which Pokemon to have, at least one from each tier. I had a ghost, I had a water, I had a fire, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted them to be so powerful that I didn't have to learn certain moves to counteract. I'm not that in depth of a player.
Yeah. I practice serious inventory management up until I do the first Elite Four. I will not use full restores or max potions or revives. I pretty much save all of that until...
Dude, have you seen how expensive revives are in this game? They're like 2,200
Oh, wow.
coin or whatever it is. They're very expensive.
Yeah. Revives have always been expensive, but I think that is higher than normal.
Inflation.
Pokédollars. Even in the Pokemon world, there's inflation problems.
Do you use the other currency? There's two currencies in this game.
I still haven't gotten the hang of that yet.
I don't know what it is. I don't know how you get it,
When
so I
you-
don't use it.
Well, when you finish the raid battles, you get it.
Oh, wow.
So I know that you get it through that way.
So I'm going to start. I don't really do raids much by myself. I may start going through them now.
They've got a new way that you construct TMs, the technical machines,
Yes.
as well. When you defeat a wild Pokemon or catch it, you get, so-and-so's fur or so-and-so's claws or
Yeah,
whatever, and you
yeah.
that to craft TMs, which is
I saw that.
interesting. But
I have hundreds of those in my inventory, and some like 40 of some. Like it's like I don't know what to do. I started selling some of them because this is what I asked you last night. I don't do TMs much unless I'm like doing the research and they're saying make sure you have this move, and then I go back and if I have the TM, I'll give it to the Pokemon. But I'm not a big TM guy. That's another one of those parts of the games that I don't want to kind of dedicate time to.
yeah, they're more of a strategic item, so
Yeah,
I understand that.
yeah.
Do you guys feel like Pokemon is leaning towards the Call of Duty effect where they're trying to be more complicated as they keep making games versus how it used to be? Casual?
I don't think they're complicated. They still very much, especially in the beginning, gear the games towards kids, even though I don't
Mm-hmm.
think the majority of their player base are kids. because they're still doing a fairly good job of keeping not inside jokes, but they're making nods to prior games.
Which is a perfect example because I'm the type of person who doesn't do the research. I can still beat the game. Whereas Ashton, he does a little bit of research. He uses TMs. He does all that stuff, and then he beats the game also.
Mm-hmm.
So me being the quote unquote kid version where I'm not in depth, I just want to train and then beat. You can still do that. Then again, I don't know how games used to be. I've only played Shining Pearl and then this one.
They implemented this change a few games back where when you so you do a battle and your Pokemon in the front of your party is the only one that battles and it gets experience. Well, every other Pokemon in your team also gets experience. So that levels you up.
That wasn't always a thing?
No.
Yeah, I heard like mixed things about that. Like
I like it.
it's
The
too
casual people like it and the
yeah.
hardcore people don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's also, they did this change with this game where you're no longer auto-locked in battles. If you come across someone, you have to actually talk to them now, which I don't know how I feel about that still.
Do you like the what we were just talking about before? I'm sorry. Oh, how the Pokemon get trained even if they get in battle or not. Do you care? Would you like it? Because you seem more of a hardcore person.
I liked getting all the experience for the Pokemon I was using because that would level them up quicker. But I don't know how they do it on this
Do
one.
you think they throttled it?
If everything is equal?
It looks like it's cut in half for the other Pokemon.
Right. So the one that actually battles does get more XP. And then the rest of the team gets like a fixed allocation of experience. But it used to be, and I still do this even though I don't really have to anymore. In all the prior games, you can catch Magikarp pretty early on because you get the old rod. And I would want to get Gyarados as quickly as possible. So I would just keep Magikarp in the front of my team and then switch him out every time a battle would start because he would get the experience allocation of being in battle. So it would help him level up faster.
And you already got him because of that, right?
Yeah.
You already have Gyarados.
Yeah. And I really don't even need to switch him in and out. I mean, he gets slightly more, but since he's already getting it, it's almost not worth the trouble of
wasting a turn.
Wasting the switch every time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
And they've added on top of that mechanic now in this game where you can auto send out a Pokemon while you're exploring an area and it's auto battling and gaining experience.
I don't like that.
I love it.
I don't like that.
Do you like it, Ash?
I don't know. There's part of me, I'm not a hardcore player.
Yeah.
That's
At least
kind of
not
weird.
anymore.
Like he just goes out and just like what
I
happens?
mean, he'll
if
stop over time.
Oh, I
He'll
was gonna
come
say,
back
what
to
if
you.
he dies?
You have a little health meter on the bottom, and you can bring him back if he's getting real low. It can't be in the middle. So it's always one hit, and he either kills him or the guy kills him or hurts him. It's always just one hit for each Pokemon, then the Pokemon dies. So if you send him out against a strong Pokemon, it can kill him, but then your Pokemon gets down to like 20% health, and then you got to retreat him back, or heal him or whatever. So there's a balance to it. Also, and then again, they do take something away, whereas you can't learn a new move if the Pokemon levels up while he's doing that auto fight. And you also can't, like, if he's going to evolve, he doesn't evolve. So there's a balance to it. They do take away some and give you some. So it's not like they just made it super easy. I like it right now because all my Pokemon are level 60 and higher. So I'm not learning any more crazy new moves and they're not evolving. So I can throw them out and I'm training them as I'm finding stuff.
Are you still using your original starter?
Yes. Because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Have you got him yet, the final? Not yet.
I'm still in the 20s.
So my 6 are, his name's Skeleburge. That's the Skelebridge. I don't know. That's the final evolution of our guy. Gyarados. I don't have Garchomp. I have the second evolution of him. I don't remember his name. It's Gabite. Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp.
Yeah, Gabite.
So I have Gabite. Pikachu, which still hasn't evolved. I think it's a friendship level.
No. It's Thunderstone.
He's holding it.
No, you don't hold it. You use it.
Interesting. I looked up and it said Thunderstone and friendship level.
No. You just use the Thunderstone.
I got to use it on him.
Pichu to Pikachu is Friendship, and then Pikachu to Raichu,
Raichu.
is Thunderstone.
Oh. It didn't give me the option to use it on him. Maybe it was before his evolution level. That's what it was.
We'll look at it.
His evolution level is 55.
Oh,
this
well,
game.
that's new.
Yeah.
It used to be you could get a Pikachu and evolve it immediately.
I'll have to relook it again. From what I remember was he had to be exposed to the Thunderstone after level 55.
He's getting a Raichu right after.
A flying Raichu.
Flying Raichu, yeah. Well, he knows a flying move, which I don't
Still
know.
weird.
It's cool though, because then now I don't have to have a flying Pokemon.
And it's a nod to those classic cards, Flying Pikachu and Surfing Pikachu.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and it fits with the Terra type
Mm-hmm.
thing that they've done, where his Terra type is flying. So I think it's cool. But no, it's funny. Now my Raichu's gonna be super strong. It's like 62 when it evolves. Then I don't really remember the other ones.
How?
Oh, a Gengar, obviously. And then there's one other one. I don't know.
Well, that was 4. You said
Uh,
Gyarados. Oh, no. You said
Gabite.
Gabite. Yeah.
Yeah.
What level's Gabite at?
50s.
Because I think 55 is when you get Garchomp.
Okay.
You should be
He's
close.
close. He's really close.
I
Oh,
love Garchomp.
Lucario I have also.
Mm.
I always need a fighting type. I like fighting types.
Solid team.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, they've been good to me so far. Pikachu is so weak.
Yeah,
you don't have
he
a
is.
lot of health. Same with Gengar, which ghost types are always pretty weak. But it's pretty close to my original team I did in Shining Pearl.
You need to get a Dusclops. That's what you need.
Why? Is he stronger?
Um,
He hasn't been in the game yet.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen Duskull or Dusclops.
Yeah, he hasn't been in
and
the game.
what's his final evolution?
Dusknor.
Yeah.
N-O-I-R, however you say
You used
that.
to have to trade him to get that final evolution.
You
I don't
still
know.
do.
Oh, you still do.
They've kept all the
Yeah, they have.
trading.
I had
Is
to trade my Haunter to get Gengar.
To yourself?
Not to him.
Oh.
is Machop in this
Trade it
game?
yourself? Machop? No.
Hmm.
Because he would have been my fighting type.
Mankey is in this though.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually might train Primeape. It's been a very long time since I've trained Mankey.
Yeah. I have a couple Pokemon that are like on the borderline that I want to put in my team, but don't yet.
Well,
Here's-
so I don't know if you've caught this yet, but there's a cool. I do like the way that they did the box system where you can access your boxes from anywhere, but there is a option up at the top. I think it goes up to 3 where you can make teams. Where instead of like switching in and out, you can just do a whole team swap.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah,
That's cool.
I'm going to do an entire team of water and then an entire team of flying,
Wow.
and then
that's
have
cool.
like a core team.
Yeah.
But
I got one more opinion to ask you guys about this.
go for it.
The evolutions. I have all of them but one, and you find them in the wild. You don't evolve them anymore. I'm sure you can. I did evolve my Eevee. Remember we were together when I got it for the first time.
Yeah, but you say you don't get to choose, right? It's just random.
I don't know, because
Oh.
remember it happened unexpectedly. My Eevee turned into a Espeon.
Oh, that's because if it evolves during the daytime
Yeah.
versus nighttime,
Yeah, Umbreon's nighttime.
that
right?
will happen with friendship level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friendship. Okay, so
I don't like the friendship levels.
yeah, that's
I don't
weird.
like that. It's hard.
I liked it back in the day because you had to get each different stone for each Eevee to turn it into the evolution.
And that's what I thought was going to happen. But so far, and you find them in there. Like when I was climbing the ice mountain, I found Glaceon. Flareon was kind of near this big mountain, like a desertish mountain, not fire, obviously. So I found them. I just stumbled upon most of them. I've only found one Eevee since the game started.
I liked it because it actually took a while to find certain stones, and you felt really satisfied after
Yeah.
you turned it
Yeah.
into a.
Yeah.
So
The Gen 1 games, you couldn't catch Eevee in the wild. Someone in Celadon City gave it to you. And you would have to choose Flareon,
was it?
Jolteon, or Vaporeon. And you could buy the stones from the Celadon department store. But that was always one of those. There was that decision. Did you play Red, Blue, and Yellow?
yeah, but I wasn't into it as much.
Do you remember they would give you the option of the 2 fossils in Mount Moon? And it would be a Kabuto or an Ammonite. you would have to choose between the Helix and the Dome Fossil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That decision, and then the Eevee. Which Eevee do I want?
They just
That
stump you
was
for
always
days.
well, you had to really had to pray about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I had Tan to trade with, but then you still couldn't get all three of them. It was kind of like the starters. The way that we got around that, it was easier with the starters because you could start the game, get the one that you wanted, trade it to the other game, and then start a new game. But Eevee, Celadon was the fourth gem, so you had to get pretty far into the game to get him. Oh, and then in the city where Sabrina's the gym leader, Saffron City, I think, heaven above. If I'm wrong, that's just pathetic. I think it's Saffron City. There's a fighting dojo, and when you defeat all of the trainers in it and then the master of the dojo, he gives you the choice between Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, and you have to choose one.
Yeah, no, I didn't play any of those that deep back
Great
then.
games, man.
Yeah.
Do you go back and play those? Do you still have them?
So I wish they would put them on Switch. They put them up on the eShop on the DS, and I've got them on there. So I still have a way to play them. I need to figure out how to get the emulator on my computer where I can just play it on there. I think Tan's done that at some point.
I'm sure he has.
I'm very cautious about downloading sketchy
Yeah.
software onto my computer.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo's not. It's just, and I know we need to kind of move on from games here. Those old games are 10 megabits in size. Why not just make all of them available in this stupid Nintendo Online I pay $4 a month for? I mean, all the NES games are on there. Put the old Game Boy games on there.
Yeah.
It's
Even if they put them on the shop for $20, people would spend money.
yeah.
You know.
Some of those games you really do have to buy a Game Boy and the cartridge, which is you're going to spend
Not cheap.
possibly hundreds of dollars just to try to play an old game.
Yeah.
But forbid someone put it online where you can play it on an emulator. Nintendo sends the lawyers after them. Yeah, but
I think those games are like $70 or $80.
the old Pokemon ones, yeah. Well, I mean, those have actually gotten re-released though. There are some old Game Boy games where they've not ever re-released them.
Yeah.
Jess, let's do your movie review.
You excited about it?
I am talking to children.
I can't wait to hear
Tim
Tim
looks
talk
thrilled
about
to
this
talk
movie.
about this movie.
My movie pick was Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, which
I'm
we all
Santa.
remember. Ashton flipped last week when I said that was the movie review. Loved it.
And this is my sack of toys.
Hi, Sack. So, I had the pleasure of watching this movie with both you gentlemen at different times. Me and Tim watched it, I think Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
It was last weekend. And then me and Ashton watched it last night.
We were coming home from the program last night.
You guys watched it after you came back?
We got back
What
by like
time did that
8:30.
Oh.
We're 9 o'clock maybe, because we got food also.
Yeah.
You texted me like you were going to get... Well, no, when we talked last week, you said, we won't be home till like 10 o'clock anyway.
That's what I thought. But
if you guys got home at 8:30, I would have came over last night.
I almost texted him, remember? I was like, I'm going to text him and say we're home if he wants to come over, but I don't feel like getting shot down tonight.
No, I thought you were going to get home at late because you said it didn't start till 7. So
Yeah, I was surprised how early we ended up getting home.
you guys got home at 8:30. I would have came.
8:30, 8:45, something like that.
We were leaving, and Jesse said, "You watched the movie?" I said, "No." He said, "We're recording tomorrow." I said, "Yeah, I wanted to watch it with you." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So we watched it. Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. I don't know when it... Oh, 08 it came out.
14 years ago.
14 years. So the movie, it's kind of a brief overview. Such a weird, stupid story. Drake has a party on the rooftop of the premiere, the movie theater.
It's at a mall too now.
Yeah.
Wait, back it up to the mall part, because
Yes.
that's kind of the beginning of the story.
It's like a big mall they're in. Why did I don't even know.
Well, the movie starts with them doing the party.
So the movie theater is in the mall.
Yeah, I know.
So
Right.
they talk to Helen, and then get in this. Drake has apparently agreed to be Santa for the children's thing, and this large woman is trying to accost him, and as he's running, he bumps into a little girl who says, "Are you Santa?" And he says, "Yes."
Says I work for Santa.
He works for Santa, and she says, "Can you give me the best Christmas ever?" And Drake's like, "Sure, kid, whatever."
It runs off. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about during this movie? Like, I know it's not as bad, but I was the Star Wars special. I was like, they try to capitalize on the success of Drake and Josh, the TV show,
Yeah.
and they just made this really bad movie that we thought was good.
It was good back when we watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. So they throw a party on the rooftop of the premiere. There's some hooligans that are flipping tables. So Josh calls the cops.
Hello?
Cops. So the cops get there, They arrest Josh for some reason. They're the first person he sees. They arrest him.
Can we talk about that fall?
Yeah, he falls.
Yeah, I said something too about it.
was like-
He'd be paralyzed for life with that fall. He falls off the rooftop, lands in a guy's truck.
Handcuffed.
Yeah, the truck takes off. The cops think he's running away, basically. So they finally catch up with him. Josh goes to prison, and Drake tries to break him out. First of all, his prison cellmate is Kimbo Slice, the beast who got famous by getting into fights and recording and putting them on YouTube, street fights. So Drake tries to bust him out. They get caught. Henry Winkler is the judge that is sentencing them. Basically, long story short, they tell him about the Christmas promise they make to a child, and he says, "Okay, I will not put you guys in jail, but you have to give this foster family their best Christmas ever. And if you don't, if the vote is not unanimous,
And they
you
can't tell them that
you
they're...
can't tell them about the vote. You will get thrown back in jail." So chaos ensues, and the whole story is them trying to give these foster children the best Christmas they've ever had. And it goes to shambles and comes back, and they ended up saving the day. So that's the
Like
general
superheroes.
overview story. It's really the quality of the movie and the acting and everything is, I guess, what you would have to expect from Nickelodeon teen actors.
It is, but I wasn't expecting it to be that bad.
And I'll say this: Josh is always the worst actor. He's not a good actor. Drake and Josh both were not the highlights of the movie. The little girl was a good actor. Even Miranda Cosgrove, she's a good actor for the era that she was in. Whatever, she doesn't seem like she's trying to play a character.
She had started iCarly by that point too.
Yes. Crazy Steve was hilarious.
Do you...
Oh my gosh, man!
So he's the funniest part of those movies.
Do you know the time between they ended the show versus that movie? Like how long it went?
No. 2 years?
It was 2 years
It was
after?
2 years. Yeah, and Drake and Josh produced the movie. So they were, I guess, big reasons why they came back and did a movie.
Still a Dan Schneider
Yeah.
production though.
Yeah,
The guy with the foot fetish.
He directed it, I believe.
Mhm.
Foot fetish.
Oh yeah, did you know about that?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's another one of these things where the guy's been exposed as a
Oh, yeah,
pervert.
of course. I do remember that. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's basically the movie. You know, the acting was okay. The movie was funny though. That's all. Like, if you let go of the crappy acting and crappy story and the plot holes and everything, it just makes you laugh, man. I mean,
I like the movie.
what more can you really say
I'm just
about
gonna
it?
tell you the foreign boy that they never figure out what language he's speaking. Tim, when they panned to him and he was licking a pineapple,
Ashton lost it.
I almost choked.
He lost it. What's that kid's name?
It's like Feegly or
Wait, you said you liked the movie?
yeah, I like it.
Tim was blown away. He said that.
It just I know objectively it is not a good movie, but it's just
I just can't get past that. I don't care. Like,
it's funny.
I don't care that it's like a childhood.
There's just kind of off the wall stuff, and I was telling Jesse that I think Drake kisses 3 different girls in this movie. I was like, they just
Classic.
don't put stuff like this in
Classic.
kids shows anymore.
Yeah, he did say that.
I would say that I would have been happy if it was like the same kind of like acting as Drake and Josh Go Hollywood or whatever that movie's called, and then like the TV show, but it's not like it's a lot different. Like you could just tell the way they are.
You can tell they're trying to go back to play the characters that they got famous on, but they're older now, so it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like Josh is still acting like a bumbling idiot, and he's not fat anymore, and he's not 14 anymore. So he was playing the exact same character.
In the
But it
beginning, when
just-
they're going up, and he takes a bite of Josh's
Yeah.
churro, he's like
Corn
so
dog.
weird.
Yeah.
Or corn dog. He's like so weird about it. I'm like, all right.
I don't know. I enjoyed watching it, but it was I think it's a bad movie.
Is it a movie that you would watch every year?
I think so. I'm not going to go out of my way, but if I'm like, man, I want to watch a Christmas movie that's there, maybe I'll watch it again. I don't know. It's fine, you know? I liked seeing Drake playing guitar again. It made me kind of remember one of the inspirations for learning guitar. And the fact that he's kissing girls, you know, it's not a secret. When we were 14, 15 years old, we wanted to be just like that, you know, playing guitars and dating girls, you know?
I'm glad they did get everybody back though.
Everybody, even the teacher.
Yeah.
Remember, I told Ashton this. I was like, I love that they fit every inside joke from the TV show in the movie at some point. Josh says "little girl" like he used to say. Like it threw that in there. They had the teacher thrown in there.
Mrs. Schaefer.
Mrs. Schaefer. She's just a little cameo. You know, like it was hilarious. Let's talk about the fact that he's driving a SS Camaro. Like, how the heck? I'm pretty sure he was driving that car in high school
Listen,
in the TV show.
they drove some supercar in the Hollywood movie. What'd they drive?
They rented
Tony
it.
Hawk's
His Ferrari or
or a
something,
Viper
right?
or something like.
Oh, it was a Viper.
On the way to the MTV studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was a good movie. I'd watch it again. It wasn't a great movie, you know, which I don't think no one ever thinks. Although Ashton pointed this out, it has a 4.8 rating or something.
4.5 stars.
4.5 stars out of 5 on that Vudu app.
Yeah. I didn't get any kind of good Christmas vibes from watching it. It was more so
Yeah.
it felt good
Yeah.
to watch Drake and Josh again.
Yeah.
it definitely. When I was younger, I felt like it was more Christmassy
Me
than
too.
it was.
Me too. It was. I mean, there was scenes though that you're just dying laughing, like the wood chipper scene where they put ice in it.
They
And it
both
just-
get knocked
They
out.
think it's gonna turn into snow, and it turns into just
it's like a drive-by shooting.
yeah, exactly. And then they both get knocked out. Obviously, very corny. They both get knocked out. Obviously,
That's more of the now that I've watched it, the kind of Abbott and Costello
Mhm.
physical comedy.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
slaps.
they're
Drake
like-
would slap him all the time.
and they're rolling around.
That's the only
and-
thing that made me really laugh. The slaps.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was funny
that was
when
good.
they were popping their mouths.
yeah. He goes, "You're not doing it right. Hook your finger," and sticks his finger in Josh's mouth. He goes, "Don't ever put your finger in me again."
Yeah. One of the parts that Jesse died at was at the end when Mindy shows up at their house, and Drake opens the door and he goes, "Ew."
This is so out of the blue.
I was surprised they got her in it too.
Yeah, again, she was in it. Her parents, I don't know if you noticed, I think those are the same actors that played her parents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Kimball Slice coming out of the fireplace. It's just,
Josh was hanging on to him. Jesse pointed this out like it was his boyfriend.
he's like, we were cellmates.
Yeah.
This is,
Mindy's like, "What?
yeah, Bludge. This is Bludge.
This is Bludge.
yeah.
We're pen pals."
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that stupidity is what I like about that show.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
so
just absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, and then Crazy Steve is throwing blocks of cheese into the cheese grater, and everyone's treating it like it's snow.
I like at the beginning when they're doing the concert and he's on the rooftop and Crazy Steve is
Yeah, he's
just
just in the middle of the concert. Yeah. He was the best part of the movie. Every time he was on screen, you're smiling.
Solid acting.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was. He played that part so well.
Yeah.
When in the theater towards the beginning, what's that girl's name? It's not Sue Allen. It's like something Mary Allen. Isn't that
The
her
little
name?
girl?
Yeah, it's Mary Allen,
Mary
isn't
Allen.
it? She's telling Drake and Helen that she lives in a foster home, and the mom's in the hospital, and her dad's working 2 jobs.
I think it's Mary Alice.
Mary
it.
Alice, there it is.
Nailed it.
And she walks away with her foster brother, and Helen and Drake are crying. And Drake's like, "What am I gonna do?"
Yeah.
And then Crazy Steve just comes out of nowhere. He's like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. It's weird because I would rewatch the show, but
I think it's because they're older. You don't believe it as much.
Yeah.
When they were kids on
Yeah.
the show, you're like, okay, they're just stupid.
but
They don't seem like high schoolers in this movie, but also they never say that they're high schoolers in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm glad I watched it again.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
probably been
It-
10 years since I've seen
It
it.
put it back on the radar. That's what I like about it.
Mhm.
We
And
didn't
you own
forget
it. So now you got it forever.
That's right. We all
Voodoo.
Yeah. So that was it, man. I enjoyed it.
Hey, favorite scene, guys.
Oh, jeez.
You know, I really enjoy the parents on vacation on that island. That's like
of course you would.
That
that's
was-
like probably one of the best
Yeah.
best parts of that movie is when they're stranded in the
Yeah.
storm.
He goes, what's the difference between a deluxe bungalow and a regular one? This one has a radio.
I love when they open the door, he like kicks it open and
Yeah.
all the birds come flying out.
Josh's dad said, "This looks a little bit different than the brochure."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Sorry, I don't speak English."
let me show you inside. Yeah, that was good.
Oh.
Anyway, that was it. Ash.
Hey, now, I want to hear a favorite scene. Come
Oh,
on.
right.
Tim
You did say that.
Tim said the bungalow.
I don't know. It'd probably be the ice chipper scene, or the wood chipper scene.
Mm.
That was just, I don't know, that was pretty funny. One of my my favorite part of the movie and what I remember most about the movie is when they did the 12 Days of Christmas on the truck.
Okay, I was going to say that.
I remember that the most. I think that'd probably be my favorite.
Yeah. That was a good scene.
I wish they would put that out as a song. Wonder if they ever did.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was pre-recorded because
Yes, definitely.
you could tell with the performance, but anything with Crazy Steve in it was good. I feel like the way that they kind of closed it with them with the what was he probation officer
Yeah.
acting like they were being arrested and then bringing them downstairs. It's like,
That was nice.
just kidding.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, they ended up tying it out really well. And then the snow fight, cheese fight
Yeah, cheese fight.
out in the front was great. It was just good to watch Drake and Josh again.
Yeah.
It didn't give me any particular Christmas, festivity or anything like that.
Mhm.
But it was good to watch Drake and Josh again.
Yeah, and I didn't have any high expectations for the movie. And the first time me and Tim watched it, I was like, man, this is not a good movie. But once you kind of anticipate it's going to be a bad movie, the second time we watched it, I enjoyed it way more because I remember the level that I need to set my expectations, It wasn't at all good, but it was hilarious, It brought me back to the comedy you grew up on, That's what was funny to us back then, was that movie and that style of comedy.
Yeah. Kind of off the wall.
Yeah, all of it was absurd.
That 2004, 2008, 10 range for Nick was just good.
Yeah,
There was some good stuff then.
yeah.
All right, fellas. It's my pick.
I'm going to go ahead and type in what it is.
It's my pick.
Are you picking the movie that's on your shirt?
No. Have both of you seen Christmas Vacation?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured both of you had, so I was like, we won't watch that. So what I'm going to have us watch is actually a TV special. And it is not a work of fiction. And it is on YouTube. Have either of you heard of a travel expert TV personality named Rick Steves?
No.
No.
Okay. So Rick Steves has a show on, originally it started on PBS. He's since come on YouTube as well. But he basically chooses a country in Europe and he goes and visits it and shows you places of like, hey, I would recommend eating here or drinking here or seeing this site. So he did a Christmas special. And it is like 5 or 6 countries that he goes to in Europe and shows the Christmas traditions of that particular country and how they're similar or different from the U.S.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's about 55 minutes.
Christmas in Europe,
Christmas in Europe. It should have
56 minutes,
it should have 1 point something million views.
2 million.
2 million.
It's the
views.
first thing that pops up.
Yep. So
Send me a
I'll
link if you can.
yeah,
Throw it in the chat. Make
if
it easier.
Tim can, that'd be great. I love it. I've already watched it this year. I watched it last year for the first time, and when you get done, you just feel the Christmas festivity. So I think it'll be good to watch. Probably won't be any kind of serious discussion next week, but it might be fun to say, "Hey, I really like this," or "I thought this tradition was weird," but kind of seeing how Santa has different variations in other countries and the food and all that.
Cool.
So I think y'all like it. So Rick Steves, Christmas in Europe for next week, fellas.
Sweet.
Threw me off there. That should
We were both
Christmas
gonna.
classic.
Me and Tim both said he's picking Charlie Brown Christmas.
No, you haven't seen Charlie Brown, have you?
If I did, I was very, very young.
Have you?
I remember
Yeah, I've
watching
seen
it.
it.
as a
It's
kid.
something that you have to have watched as a kid and brought it with you. You can't. I don't think you would like it, Jess.
Mm.
I think you would like the music, but
I mean, I liked the Peanuts growing up.
Mhm.
I don't remember seeing the specials though.
you should still watch it. It's like 20 minutes, man, and it's on Apple TV now,
Oh, I didn't know that.
which I don't like. Now it's
Let's not even get started on
paywalled.
that. Yeah.
It's always been this thing that has come on channel 2 or 5 every year, but no.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. Isn't it last year was the first time in 60 something years, right, that they didn't air it?
I think it came out 65, so it would be 35 plus 22, 57 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
All right, I got
I'm
step.
excited.
They're doing a Rush Hour 4?
Yeah. It was Ash, did you grow up on Rush Hour?
I've definitely seen it.
Okay, he's seen him. So I saw I read an article that said Jackie Chan has officially confirmed it's in the works. And he posted a picture of him and Chris Tucker.
Listen, they haven't made a bad movie,
I
so
know. What's your favorite?
2. Still a classic.
You'll have to remind me which one. Is that the one when they're in the bar and he's singing
Yeah,
Michael Jackson?
yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah. They go to the massage parlor.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
I'll
all
have that one. Oh, I
Yeah.
want that one too. Mm.
Yeah, they're all good.
They're all good. They all run together because I haven't seen them in a couple of years. You bought them on
They're
Blu-ray,
they're
didn't you?
also on HBO Max, all 3.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They are great movies. Those are really, really good buddy comedy
Yeah,
movies.
good
Yeah.
comedies.
I threw that on there because I knew you would appreciate it.
I didn't even know you must have put that on this morning because it wasn't
No,
on there
it was
yesterday.
Yesterday, I think. If not, it was late yesterday, but it's been on there.
Yeah, I was checking. I checked it yesterday too, but I didn't see it on there, so it must have been late. There's a lot of movies coming out.
Yeah, and I kind of want to.
The whole beginning of the year, like the first 6 months of the year, there's like a lot
There's
of
some big
big
stuff.
titles coming out.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear Ashton's take on Indiana Jones.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
The Dial of Destiny
Yeah.
is a weak title,
Yeah,
so they're not already start. Have you seen the trailer?
yeah.
I didn't watch it yet. I'm afraid to. Should I? Is Shia LaBeouf back in it?
No. I mean, it looks like it looks better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
I enjoyed that
but that's
movie.
not really saying much.
Everybody craps on that movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I know now your dad's going to say he's not a true Indiana Jones fan. I don't know.
You just everything you say. You're just
I know.
Like
I know.
going
You should have
out.
heard us talking about Aaron Judge last week. Do you remember? Oh, you were in that
Yeah,
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard also that Indiana Jones, the first one, is the only one that everybody says is like in true Indiana Jones movies. Apparently, the other two kind of dropped off.
Have you seen?
Have you heard that? I think so. Yeah. So is it Raiders is the first one, then it's Temple of Doom, and then I don't know.
Is Raiders the first one?
Pretty sure. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm pretty sure is the first.
Ash, do you know the order of the Indiana Jones movies? The first 3?
one. I'll look it up.
I think the
Because everybody says, "Oh, Raiders." That's like.
I mean, that one's
Raiders.
very good. Yeah.
It's the first one. Temple of Doom, Last Crusade.
They're all good.
I like them all, but Raiders is by far my favorite. But didn't we watch them like last year? Didn't we watch Raiders together? Because we haven't seen it in so long. Maybe me and Savannah did. I think we watched it together.
Temple of Doom is really good.
One of the coolest moments I remember from Raiders is I remember me and you were watching it when we were kids at your house here in Georgia, and your dad said there's a C-3PO R2-D2 Easter egg. You remember in the snake pit on one of the hieroglyphics was,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we like studied that scene trying to find it. I remember your dad telling us that, and I was like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash, we were talking about how many big title movies are coming out next year in the first 6 months. And I was curious if you checked out the trailer for the Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-mm.
Did you watch?
Not by choice. I mean,
Did you watch all of them?
Tim, it has probably been 10 or 15 years since I've seen them. The Jones movies have always kind of been like Star Wars for me, where like I've seen them, but I don't really go out of my way to watch them now.
I don't understand why certain actors try to keep the train chugging.
Hmm.
The man's 80 years old, and he's trying to make another movie where he's running and jumping and fighting, and
Right.
I'm just like, you don't need the money. I don't know why you keep doing this.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like the grouchy old man, but I'm just so burned out on remakes and, part fours of pre-existing stuff. I wish that someone would do something new.
Yeah, like you're waiting almost 15 years to make another one,
Yeah.
or however long, and it's like you're just. If you wanted to make another one, you should have done it when it was on the hype train.
Yeah.
You're just trying to bring it back for people who saw the originals and they're like, okay, I'll spend some money and see it,
Yeah.
but it's probably not going to be good. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 looks really good. Yeah, Guardians 3. I like it. I like how they're doing Groot's backstory, or not Groot's, Rocket's backstory.
Yeah, but he's hugging an otter. What's the deal there?
I don't know the deal.
Have you guys seen the holiday special yet?
No.
Oh.
My parents told me it was pretty good.
We kicked it? I loved it. Oh, cool. I loved it. 45 minutes long. I downloaded the soundtrack. It's part of my Christmas playlist now.
They were telling me that the beginning's not the greatest, but it gets better.
Yeah, I guess. Once they start chasing down Kevin Bacon is when it kind of it kind of picks up. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Guardians 3. And even though I think I'm done with the superhero movies for a while. It didn't interest me.
It's their last one though, so
Yeah. And now that the director moved to DC now. Do you see that?
no.
James Gunn? He's head of DC now. Yeah. So people kind of have high hopes for that now, thinking that maybe DC will finally be able to compete. I don't know. I doubt they will.
Yeah, I was saying that Harrison Ford is 80 years old,
Yeah.
and he's trying to do fight scenes and jumping on trains and going over things, and
Is that in the trailer?
yeah, like I'm
Does
just
it look
like,
bad?
it doesn't look bad, but the trailer is just very like,
And this is going to be his last one. You think they're going to do one more?
he didn't need to make this one.
I know. No, I saw the years. 08 was when Kingdom came out. So it's been 15
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
since he's played it last.
I'm just like,
They must have wrote him the biggest check they could, and he's like, all right, fine, one more.
but he doesn't need the money.
I know. Actually, I don't know if it was that. I think he likes the character. He's always said that's his favorite character that he's played. Maybe he just wanted to do it one more time.
Well, I hope they make him look decent.
Yeah.
'cause
I wonder what your dad thinks about it.
an 80-year-old running,
Yeah.
it's probably not a good look.
Yeah.
They showed, a whip scene, but
What more can you do with him?
yeah,
You know?
I'm not going in with high hopes, but I'll watch it once.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it once. Indiana Jones 5. That is crazy.
Yeah,
It has been 52 years since the first movie.
see,
42. I'm sorry.
they
42.
were really big, so you should have just kept making them back then.
Yeah, I know. Well, trilogies back then, that's what everything was. They stopped at 3. That was like the secret sauce. Yeah.
I mean, I guess he really liked the storyline or something because between Star Wars and this, he really doesn't need the money.
No.
So
No, definitely not. And then even Blade Runner. I bet he made some money off Blade Runner. That was a big cult classic.
yeah, but
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. The Super Mario, the second trailer came out. I'm excited to see that.
I didn't watch the second trailer. I just watched.
Everybody's been giving Chris Pratt a lot of crap for voicing him.
I don't think it's.
Who
I don't think
cares?
it's him necessarily. I think it's the studio's choice of
Oh yeah,
casting him.
yeah, and I think it's the fact that the guy who played Mario is still alive, but he's not an actor. You know, he's not. I don't know. I'm not upset with the choice. I don't love the choice. I'm going to see how he does. I'm not going to be, one of those people that judges it before I get to hear it.
It's not even just him. It's all the people they chose.
Yeah, Charlie Day is Luigi, but he has a scene in the trailer that is actually kind of funny. Him and Bowser are going at it.
Bowser. Who's Bowser? I forget.
Jack Black. Yeah, I don't think he does a good Bowser. He doesn't sound menacing enough. Peach is heavy in the trailer. Here's what's cool about the trailer once you see it. He has to train to beat Bowser, and he trains by going through all the original levels in the game. So it's super cool, man. He's learning how the levels work. He's like, "Oh, don't touch this." And then he gets hit. He's dodging the remember on the Bowser levels, there's that fire thing that kind of twists around 360 and you have to jump over it or jump before it. He gets hit by one of them. He doesn't know what it does and it flies him back. So he's going through all the levels that you grew up playing. So it looks promising to me.
I'll watch it, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was really good because the animation looks really cool.
Very good.
But I wouldn't also be shocked if it wasn't the best storyline.
The only thing that's going to hold people back from not liking it is getting over the voice actors. I think the concept is good.
You think the story will be good?
I think the story will be good. The whole story is Bowser's taking over the world, so he has to fight Bowser. I think the story's going to be good. I think they're throwing in all of the true fans want to see, which is the levels and
Do you think
the
he'll
Goombas.
Do you think he'll have the different costumes on?
Yeah, I think in the level in the trailer, I think he puts on the fire costume. Or no, he's flying with the squirrel costume. So I think that's what I said. I think we'll just watch it after. I think they're doing everything they can to make it a good movie.
All right.
It looks promising to me.
I'm going in with an open mind.
Yeah. And I think is it Paramount, I think that's making it?
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
a big studio. I think it's going to be good. It'll be a quality movie. At least in my opinion, it will be. But I like everything. I'm not a critic.
I mean, you don't like everything,
True.
but
Most things.
I think we need to get into sports.
Yeah, I think we should. We're coming up on a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like it. That's what I'm saying. I like Saturday morning podcasts.
I think it helps
stuff.
that we didn't work the same day and then come over here.
Yeah, Thursdays I could tell. We need to try to start moving away from Thursdays.
Thursdays are tough, man.
Yeah.
And it's because that we know we have work
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah, nobody wants to be all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
I agree. We'll try to move away from them a little bit. Honestly, I'd rather do a Saturday than a Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
But every week's different. Tim wants to move to sports.
Where do we start?
NFL?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to leave up these categories in the notes. I kind of like it. And every time you guys get one, just put it in that category.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do it.
You did a great job with the notes, Jess.
Thanks, man.
Much needed organization.
Thanks. So I got 11 right last week.
11.
Mm-hmm.
I got 7.
Mine took a beating.
Yeah. Yeah. You have those weeks. You either do really awesome or really bad.
The Dolphins killing the 49ers was a big shock to me.
Wait, Dolphins won?
No, the 49ers.
You just said killing... Oh, 49ers. I
Killed
think you
the
said Dolphins
Dolphins.
killing 49ers.
Oh, I thought I said 49ers killing Dolphins.
I don't know.
Either way, Dolphins got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
How about the Raiders-Rams? Baker Mayfield coming up 48 hours notice, and coming back from what was
Barely
it?
won.
16 point,
They barely won. Yeah. 17-16
Yeah.
was the final.
but he didn't have that long to study the
know.
playbook. It was pretty crazy.
I thought it was funny that he left and then literally like a day later, the Rams were like, yep, we need a quarterback. Got him back in. Because I don't know if you saw the other quarterback. He's horrible and very small. And he just looked awful. I'm glad they signed someone else.
Yeah, I didn't realize Stafford was out for the whole season.
Yeah, he's got a serious injury, like a spinal thing. He may be out.
Oh no.
People are talking he may just retire at this point.
Oh no.
Spinal infusion or something they were talking about. Like, it's serious. They were saying he's got nothing more to prove. He had a great career, went to the Rams, won a championship. They're like, maybe you should just call it. So I don't know. I don't know if he will. I don't know that enough, but they were saying that they wouldn't be surprised if they were like, that's it.
Yeah, I hate to hear that.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's in his mid-30s, so he's getting close to there anyway.
Yeah. He's probably played 10 or 12 years.
I would say at
Maybe
least
10? Yeah. He
Might
may have
be
been in for a
more.
while. Like I said, I think he did maybe 8 years at the Rams or 7 years.
He was at the Lions for a while.
Lions, I'm sorry, not Rams. Yeah,
Yeah, he's been 12 years.
12. Yeah, that's enough.
I mean, I wouldn't mess around with an injury like that if you don't need the money and you just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's
so.
the whole reason you play, right? To win a Super Bowl. So you did it.
And to get paid.
And he could pick up a sportscasting
Yeah,
gig.
they
or
all
something
do.
Like that.
Everybody does.
Yeah, pretty much.
He'll be
Because
fine.
they get paid a buttload of money to do that.
Yeah.
All they do is talk about the sport that they just played for 15 years.
And he's done a couple of commercials. So,
Little Caesars.
yep.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was the week. I didn't really watch any of the major games, so I
I didn't either.
don't have anything to comment on. Biggest thing I wanted to talk about was Baker Mayfield going to the Rams. It was cool that he won. I mean, I don't really care about
I
it.
don't see them winning like maybe 2 more games, if that, this year. So they're
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, I think they need to call it. Just forfeit the rest. That's what I say.
First game for. Go ahead.
Yeah, Vikings at Lions.
Easy.
Easy. The
would-
Lions
you-
have been playing good lately.
You would think, but the Lions almost beat the Bills on Thanksgiving.
Easy. Vikings.
Vikings.
All right, Ravens at Steelers.
Wait, who are you picking?
Vikings,
Oh, okay.
and I'm picking the Ravens. at
Ravens.
Steelers.
Yeah, I'll go with the Ravens. Steelers are just that bad. Bengals.
Yeah.
Listen, Bengals. We didn't talk about that game last week. The Chiefs-Bengals.
Really good game.
Very good game. And I saw this. The past, I think, 4 times or 3 times they've played, the Bengals have won every time.
Yeah.
But it's been 3-point deficits each time.
Yeah.
It's always a tight, good game with them. But Joey B, man.
3-0 this year against the Chiefs.
This year.
Yeah. 'cause
Oh,
they,
actual year, not
Like
not
actual
season.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Wait, no, they're not. Oh, they lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. They beat the Chiefs in the divisional championship. Right. Yeah. I love Joey B, man.
Yeah.
No, don't be surprised if I'm donning a jersey next
oh,
year.
please.
Hey, I'm the only one that did it. Don't say, oh, please.
Oh,
you
won't do-
two are the ones that never did it.
I never agreed to an NFL jersey.
You're a liar.
I only
We'll go back to episode 2.
do it because I only agreed
Is
to
there
a
not a
judge.
timestamp of him buying something?
I don't know.
I only agreed to a judge.
All right, I'm just saying I follow through. Jets, Bills.
Jets.
What?
Dan, I'm going with the Jets this time because they can hang in there.
Yeah, you're right. They're playing good. They just had a crap
And
ending of the last game.
they beat the Bills already this season.
True. Which means the Bills are coming back with a vengeance. I am vengeance. I am Batman.
You never know.
Okay.
There's no way that the Texans can beat the Cowboys. Texans are 12-1?
What?
They have a tie on their record. The Texans.
1-12-1. They've won 1 game.
Yeah.
The Texans have won 1 game this year.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to believe you, but that's hard to believe.
They're the worst team in the NFL.
Someone confirm that for me.
I think that's their exact record, 1-12-1.
That is horrible. They didn't. Did they tie?
Yeah.
Who did they tie? They didn't tie. Unless it was the first game of the season. It was them and the Colts that tied.
It's either them or I'm thinking of.
And then the Giants Commanders have a tie. There's only 4 teams.
I think the Texans do have a tie.
Wow. I can't stall any longer.
Well,
It's taking it won't pull up. Yeah, no, Tim's right. They're 1-10.
oh,
10.
1-10. Okay.
Wait, in a tie?
1-10-1.
1. Wow. All right. I believed you. See from the beginning. Eagles, Giants.
Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants, man.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Giants have lost 2 or 3 in a row. So, because they got destroyed, I think, to a bad team last week or the week before. Either way, yeah. They're on a losing streak. The Jags, Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, Titans. Ooh,
I'm with you, boys.
Chiefs, Broncos. Is this going to be a
Poor
spicy
Broncos,
game?
man. They cannot catch a break.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good game next week. Good game. Panthers, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Bucks, 49ers? I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm going Bucks. And 49ers are having a quarterback situation.
So are the Bucks.
It's not a quarterback situation. It's a receiver situation.
It's a team situation.
It's a
Yeah.
team situation.
They need a little bit of everything. I think he had a good fourth quarter comeback last week.
But if it takes you that long to score 16 points in a game,
I mean, teams do it. What do you want me to
Yeah.
say? It
Yeah.
happens. All that matters is there's a W in the column for Tom Brady.
I think they're 6-6 now, or
7
7
and 6, I think.
6.
They're 7-6.
something.
How about this 8 o'clock game?
Dolphins at Chargers.
I'm gonna pick the Chargers because I like them more.
It's just kind of meh.
Yeah,
I'll go Dolphins.
I saw that last week. Someone said the primetime game last week was the Colts Cowboys, and they could have easily gave us the Chiefs and Bengals in
Yeah.
the primetime game,
Yeah.
and they didn't. And that game was stupid. At the fourth quarter, they scored 33 points. The Cowboys, most in franchise history in a fourth quarter.
they put up 50 points, right?
52, I think. Yeah, it was funny. It was a tight game until the fourth.
Unreal.
Yeah.
All right, Monday
All right.
night.
All right, Pats. We need you here.
Pats, Cardinals.
I'm gonna go with the
Pats.
Patriots, man.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility for us to beat the Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals.
They're struggling too. They really are.
And then next Thursday, we have 49ers, Seahawks. I'm going to go 49ers.
I'm picking Seahawks again.
I am too.
All right. That's week 14 in the NFL.
In the books.
Do we want to talk about the final committee choice for the college
Yes.
football playoffs?
Yeah, Tim, run me through this because I want to get our picks. I want to know the ranks.
All right.
What we got?
So at number 1, obviously, you have Georgia. All right. Number 2, we have good old Michigan. Number 3, which was a bit of a shocker. I thought they would go to number 4, but I did think they were going to stay in the playoffs, is TCU. They did not move at all. Which, can you blame them? They still only have 1 loss. And they went into
but they
overtime.
lost
Against
to a number 9.
in overtime, though.
Should have gone down a little bit. There's consequences for losing to a worse team than you.
I think the problem was that
The Green Waves.
they only
That's
lost.
not them, is it?
No,
That's not them, is
no.
it?
They only lost by 3 in double overtime, whereas Ohio got pounded at home for their 1 loss. So everybody only has either 0 or 1 loss, and everybody's schedule, I think, fits. Ohio didn't really play anybody except Michigan, and they got destroyed. TCU had a schedule of 5 ranked teams, and they beat all of them except Kansas State in double overtime. Georgia, not really a shocker. They're still number 1 in Michigan. So how do you think this playoff situation is going to pan out?
Yeah.
And who do you think is going to be in it?
I'm writing out a bracket here. I'm intrigued. 2 and 3.
Because
TCU.
Georgia plays Ohio,
Yeah.
Michigan will play TCU.
I told Dan this, and you guys are going to disagree with me. I already know. I'm picking Ohio State.
Why?
I think it's too good to be true for a team to win back-to-back championships, undefeated, 2 straight years.
Do you have a reason though that
Nope.
you would pick Ohio because
Nope.
you did watch the game they played against Michigan, right?
Yep. I think you guys listen. Games happen once in a generation, once in a millennium. That is just a complete shock. And I think this is going to be that game.
Does it change your opinion that their number 1 wide receiver isn't playing this game because he is going to the draft, so he
Nope.
doesn't want to get hurt?
And I'll tell you this. Listen, this is going off 0 facts. I just think something crazy will happen. And
Wait.
I think this will be
You
it.
do know they're playing in Atlanta, right?
Tim, you keep giving me ammunition. I keep spitting it back at you. I don't... Listen, I know this is a stupid choice. I just think something crazy is going to happen.
I think you're just
It's-
picking it.
It's
just-
playoffs. It's an obvious win in Georgia. So I just think something stupid, crazy is going to happen.
Well,
Going off a hunch.
I'll say the only team I think will beat them is Michigan, and I don't think they will.
Yeah. And also I will say this. I don't see any team. This is going to sound stupid. No team can beat Georgia. At Georgia's best, I don't think any team can beat Georgia. But I think the stars are going to align. Something stupid's going to happen. And Ohio State's going to win.
I'm going to say Ohio State's not scoring more than 14 points, and I think it's going to be 36-14. And I don't think that 36-14 is close. I think it's just like it's like that Tennessee game where it was like 28-14. It wasn't like out of like it wasn't a stupid amount, but you could tell Tennessee had no chance of winning that game at all.
Yeah. And I'll say this again. I know I'm going to be wrong. I know Georgia's going to win. Just if there's going to be a fluke game in our lifetime, this is going to be it.
I think they repeat.
I'll be happy if they do.
Georgia wins. Michigan wins. Georgia beats Michigan.
So I think Michigan's team is a little bit more put together this year than last year when they played Georgia, but Georgia pounded them last year it was the semifinals last year. And I think it's going to happen again.
What scores? What do you think final game? What are the scores going to be? You think it's going to be a high scoring?
For Michigan, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be 31-3.
Jesus. 3? I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout.
I actually watched the game last night, the highlights of the Georgia-Michigan game last year. I watched the highlights yesterday, and I think they only scored 14 points.
38-17 is mine.
I'm going 28-21.
28-21. Now, I would be happy if it was a close game.
I think it will be. It's a championship game. You know, like, and again, championship games and playoff games, it's different level. People play better.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tighter. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's 28-21.
The past, 3 years...
Ohio State.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
You're picking Ohio State to win the championship?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
No. I'm still picking Georgia. Again, my pick is Georgia, but I'm saying I think if there's any fluke, Ashton leaves the room. He's getting annoyed that I keep flipping. I think if there's ever going to be like oh my God, what just happened?
So you pick Georgia, but you pick Ohio State.
Yeah. I just like to get under Ashton's skin. That's all. Because we don't care.
I don't think there's a chance. The only reason I say there's not a chance is because every team Ohio State's played was unranked, I think, except Michigan.
I mean, Georgia only played 2 ranked teams, right?
They played Oregon,
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Yeah,
Tennessee,
Oregon shouldn't be ranked.
Tennessee, LSU
They played LSU?
for the SEC championship.
Oh,
last
I
week.
meant regular season. But yeah, I guess you're right. They did play them.
I think they played one more. I think they played Florida when they were ranked, but Florida went on a really bad losing streak.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider them ranked.
Yeah, I think Georgia played 5, and that was
Okay.
when Tennessee was really good.
Yeah.
No one was injured.
Yeah.
Oregon was the first game of the season. Oregon was ranked number 9. And do you remember that score?
No.
It's like 48-3. They only got a field goal.
Wow.
Kentucky was really close. That was a weird game because it was really windy, so
Yeah.
they didn't pass the ball a lot. They ran it.
Are these games today?
No.
Oh, okay. When do they start?
They start
the New
the
Year?
last weekend in December.
Oh, okay. And then the championships usually like the 3rd in January, right? It's very
Yeah.
early. Okay.
I think it's on a Monday.
Sometimes on New Year's too. Yeah. Why do they do that?
They always do that on
Yeah,
Mondays.
every year.
Every championship game.
So stupid.
Basketball, football, like everything is just Monday
That's
night.
dumb.
But the semifinals are the 31st. That Saturday.
Okay.
So if we're all around.
That's a Saturday, right?
Yeah,
You
Saturday.
just said that. Yeah, we're here. We don't have anything going on. We were gonna do a New Year's thing that night, so could always just
Yeah, everything. Christmas is on a Sunday. New Year's is on a Sunday. It's just no.
next year's on a Monday though.
That's good. See, I don't like when it's on a weekend because you don't get any extra time off.
Exactly.
It's just a regular
Although
day.
Ashton does,
Oh yeah.
he gets Monday off because they celebrate it later. Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for these matchups. I think Michigan TCU will be pretty good. I don't think it's going to be as like. I think it will be like out of the 2 games,
Yeah.
that's the close one
Yeah, I think so too.
because their quarterback's really good. TCU's quarterback ran 90 yards in the 4th quarter to get into overtime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow. They have one of those quarterbacks that's like a running back.
yeah.
Really?
Like he just took it down the field.
He's
to
like, I'm
get
going to
them
stop
into
relying
overtime.
on other people. I'm going to
Yeah.
score myself. Yeah.
It was cool.
That's cool.
But other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about in college football.
There's more coffee the man's bringing in.
Where are we at, Jess?
What do you mean, time-wise?
Mhm.
2.5. We got so much time. So we finished. Oh, no, we still got a little bit of sports. I want to ask you guys your opinion on this. The MLB Hall of Fame votes came in. Of the 7 players, I think 7 that they were voting on, only 1, I think, made it in this round. But who didn't get in was Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. And the internet is just so upset about
So-
Barry Bonds not getting into the Hall of Fame.
I don't really know who Roger Clemens is.
I don't
was-
either.
He was the pitcher for the Yankees, dude. The big guy. He got in the fight with not Sammy Sosa, Mike Piazza on the Mets. Remember in the Subway Series? Man, do I know more about this than you right now? Remember when Mike Piazza, he hit a ball and his bat broke and flew towards Roger Clemens. He caught it and threw it back at him when he was walking to first base.
Yeah.
And then chaos ensued.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was him.
I
He didn't
mean,
make it in. I don't remember why he didn't make it in. I think he may have been a steroid guy also.
That was the era.
But the whole world is just so bent out of shape about Barry Bonds not getting into the Hall of Fame. But then half of them are like, duh, because he's a cheater.
Were performance enhancers illegal when they were playing?
Well, they've always have been, but he never got, I remember I read the story, he never officially got convicted of it. They found out like months later that he tested positive for it. When he went to the trial, they delayed it for a certain amount of time, and then they filed for a mistrial because of how long it's been, and then he never actually got convicted.
Clemens or Bonds?
Bonds. That's why everybody still says he's the home run king and all this whatnot, because he never officially got filed as a steroid user.
But he tested positive
Yes.
for it. Okay, then yeah, he cheated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it's an outlawed substance, that's the league rules. He broke the rules. End story.
Yeah, and all the records he broke were just for that 1 year, and it was astronomical. Like, I mean, he dominated all of the records that he broke.
Yeah.
So it was so obvious. So I agree. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't even care about MLB Hall of Fame. He shouldn't be in it, though.
Yeah.
They said the same with Pete Rose, the gambler.
Pete Rose.
They said he hasn't been in either, and they're saying it's a travesty. And you're like, no, because he gambled. Well, I think on his own games, right? Yeah, all these people are so bent out of shape because of it. Like, put him in your own Hall of Fame, then,
Yeah.
if that's what you want.
It is what it is. I don't think they'll ever get in, even
Yeah.
though they keep bringing them into the same
Yeah.
nominees.
They're saying basically like they're probably going to stop voting on him now at this point because he's not going to get in. They're not going to change their minds. I think there's 16 people that vote, if I read that right, and it has to be 80% of the vote. And he got like 4 votes, I think. Him and Clemens both, 4 or 5, something like that. Wasn't even close. So I don't think it'll happen. Last thing in baseball, Aaron Judge. Man's a lifetime Yankee.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't break
Good
his
for him.
contract. I think it's awesome. Finally signed the deal. He bet on himself and made, what was it, another $140 million because of it. Because of from the previous offer to this offer, he went up $140 million.
I think it was 100.
It was, so the final number was 370?
360.
360 for 9 years.
360.
I thought it was 260 they offered him.
I think it was 216 or something. It was low twos.
Oh. Either way.
I think for some reason I remember 100.
Man's making $40 million a year for the next 9 years. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's so absurd. I did the math yesterday at work. I think it's $109,000 a day. It's absurd. That people
Baseball players get paid a lot of money.
And that's not even the largest contract right now
Yeah.
that's been signed.
They said
There's that guy, 2 people for the Mets have a higher contract than him.
They said when that guy on the Angels goes, when he becomes a free agent,
Ohtani?
yeah,
The pitcher?
they said he's gonna be like.
Oh, yeah.
They said
Yeah.
he's probably gonna be more than like 400.
Really?
Yeah,
For a career contract, probably.
yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
I mean, Mike Trout got over 400.
Mm.
He got 425.
Some guy who just signed, I think it was the largest contract. I don't remember what team he was on, but he signed, and his contract lasts until he's 41 years old.
Yeah, it's a 11 or 12-year contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a long time, man.
Yeah,
But just think, that's guaranteed money. You don't have to worry about it.
exactly.
Like even if you get injured, you're still getting that money.
Exactly. It's nuts. There is way too much money being thrown around over there. What are you going to do?
I don't know how they...
I didn't think, like, it always feels to me like baseball is a dying sport. So I don't understand where all this, like,
It's America's pastime, Tim.
I actually enjoyed baseball this year more than I've ever have, though. Than I
I
ever
kept
have.
up with it this year.
Yeah.
Was it just because of Judge, you think?
That helped, but I just enjoyed, I don't know why, watching it, especially the pitching this year.
Yeah, I was watching it on Sundays at my parents'
Yeah, I remember.
for a while. So, I mean, yeah, that helped. It was cool seeing you follow someone break a record.
Yeah, and I'll say this, probably next year I'm going to keep up with it, I think.
Yeah.
And it took Aaron Judge, I think, breaking the record for me. Because it got me back into it, because I've always said baseball was so boring to watch. So I'm not going to pretend that I've always been a baseball fan, but I think I'll keep up with it now because of Judge.
It was fun tuning in. You're like, okay, is he going to do it this time?
Yeah.
Right? They would break away from the coverage.
Right.
Like, Judge is up to bat.
Yeah. All eyes
All
on Judge.
rise.
Yep.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool watching that, being a part of it, having jerseys for it, you know. It was cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I'm out of
He's out.
I'm out of stories.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a good time now.
Well, listen, we got some collectibles I want to run over real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
you do
Legos.
The Legos. I need you to talk about the Legos.
He needs to go to the bathroom.
Well, then we're gonna vamp for a minute. Did you? What were you looking up on? What's he doing? What?
He looked over and gave me the most strange look, and then walked out. That was odd.
What were you looking at on TCG this morning?
Oh yeah, Tim's not here now. But One Piece, they've got a TCG for One Piece now. I don't know if it's a TCG or a CCG. It probably has a game built around it. But
yeah. You think he'd be into it before because he's gonna come
Be
back and
into
we'll run
it?
it by him?
he'll probably be like, that's cool,
Yeah.
and then that'll probably be the end of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
Because he's like I said, he was buying pops of One Piece up until like 2 weeks ago. Man, I mean he's not into pops anymore, but he's buying those.
yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Have you cooled down with the cards?
Very
And is
much.
there any particular reason? Did you just kind of get your itch scratched and that was it?
I think it just moved on from opening to
You
completing.
transitioned a good bit towards Legos too, I
Yeah.
think.
And I've said that for years. I'm always into something, and I go through cycles. It was Blu-rays and steelbooks for a while, then it was Pops, then it was comics, then it was trading cards, now it's Legos. There's always been an overarching interest, but yeah, Legos I've been getting into lately. Cards, I finally just realized it's you waste so much money opening. I'd rather buy the card that I want. And then I got to the point where I was like, I'm just buying the card, throwing it in a binder, and putting it in my closet. Like, I'm not even looking at them much. But I liked the collecting and completing sets aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at.
If you do reach that point, though, where you're just throwing them in the closet, that is a good indicator that you need to stop.
Yeah.
Because I've had periods like that, too. It's fun opening with you guys. I don't find it particularly fun when I'm alone, but there have been several occasions that I've taken the binders out for the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I've opened last few weeks. Just flip through them.
Yeah. Because you got a box to open today.
Do have a box to open today.
What is it? It's
another Darkwing Blast. Shot in the dark, but maybe we can pull a Starlight on this one. But I checked the card list after I opened the first box last time, and there are still some heavy hitters I'd like to get that are feasible. Mm-hmm. I've got a binder set up. Everything's in chronological order, so I have the ones that are missing that I'd like to fill in. And then I bought a third box. I've got that on deck. I don't know if I'm going to open that one or if I'll keep it sealed, because there's a new set coming out in January. And I might buy that set, just keep like one box sealed. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of like Pokemon, where the boxes really don't dip below retail. Mm-hmm. So if I hold it long enough, I might be able to flip it. But
remind me what retail is on Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's somewhere between $70 and $90.
Okay.
So
that's reasonable. Pokemon's just too high.
Yeah, I think it's calming down though.
No, I just mean the retail price. Like the aftermarket is calming down, but there's still retail prices $140 on their website.
As long as people keep paying it, they're gonna keep charging.
I'm wondering who is buying those directly from Pokemon when they can save, like, I guess people who don't do eBay, I guess, and other stuff, but they can save $30 a box by ordering off eBay or TCG. I want to pull up some
140
TCG.
is, you said?
141 is on Pokemon's website.
I mean, that's $388 a pack for a box. That's expensive.
Yeah.
Because is it $419 or $429 if you buy individuals?
19. It's $29. I think you're right. $429.
So you're really only saving 30 cents, 40 cents a pack.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just too high for me. I don't know. And like I said, I was going to open that Brilliant Stars box with you that I had in my closet, but then I looked up the price. They're almost pushing $180 now. Mm-hmm. And then Evolving Skies, I think, is pushing like $280. It's insane how expensive that set's getting.
And that's after multiple reprints, right?
2 prints and then like a half print.
So 2.5 print waves.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. I don't like this, how large the card list is. So the Yu-Gi-Oh card lists tend to be around 100 per like main set. Yeah. They've been doing these kind of side sets, supplemental sets, whatever they call them, where they might have 50 or fewer cards, but like a main set is 100 cards. But Pokemon's gotten into 200, 250, and there are these chase cards where it's one per box. It's almost like how the games have become, where their slogans got to catch them all. And you can't.
You can't.
It's so hard.
No one makes that much money. Yeah.
You end up, if you really want to be a completionist, it would be better to just buy a complete set, pay the $800 or whatever, or open a couple boxes, get the bulk of everything, and then buy the individuals, which I think poor Zach's still trying to do.
Yeah. He's got to be getting close at this point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Man's adding new stuff every week.
Yeah. That's why I like the holiday sets the most, because they're less than 100 cards in the set. You can it's actually obtainable.
There's a Pokemon holiday set?
Every year they do a holiday set.
Oh, I didn't know
Like
that.
Shining Fates is holiday, Champ's Path, Shining Legends, Hidden Fates.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. They call them holiday sets. I think they come out like October-ish. Yeah. So any card set that doesn't have a booster box is considered a holiday set.
And those sets don't.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and those are the card sets that are. Well, I mean, Shining Fates is different because there's a shiny vault and a regular, but like Champs Pass only had 73 cards, and that was it.
What are the shiny vault cards like value wise?
There's one that's like 28, and the rest are probably 15 and under. But there's like 110 of them, 114.
Okay.
Besides the Charizard, of course, that one's high.
Right.
But most of the baby shinies, what they call them, are $5 and under.
I want to find this this new V-Star set I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
That's V-Star Universe. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I mean,
look that up.
like the cards are nuts. Look at this.
That got tiny.
Oh no!
Wow, that's cool.
Like, and every card in the set is like this, but it's $100 a box, and there's 10 packs. So $10 a pack is a lot of money.
It is. Yeah. That's what they go for now, man.
When I saw that, I was like, I don't want it bad enough to pay $10 a pack.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know if this is. Oh, wow.
I mean, look at this Keldeo.
Yeah. Cricketune,
Is that an old set?
Manphy.
No, it's brand new.
This is like, the Japanese box I opened, V-Star, VMAX Climax ones. They
Mhm.
came out with another one.
It's the very last Sword and Shield generation box or set for Japan.
Dude, it is unreal how many alt arts are in this set. Wow.
The one I told you about?
Yes.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
So it starts at 173. Oh, dude, have you seen the Hisuian Voltorb? Look that one up. That's pretty cool. So it goes from 173 to 262, almost 100 secret rares. Isn't that nuts? Trainer Gallery.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not. That Charizard V-Star and the V and the V-Star, the promo cards are in it. Dude, there's a lot of full art Pokemon cards that are just the Pokemon in big form.
Right.
They look really cool, man. Like, can you see that Pikachu from here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it looks cool, but yeah, I mean, for getting 10 packs,
$10 a pack is just
$10
too much
a
money.
pack, you'd have to buy 8 cases to come close to getting what you want. So 172 cards plus 90 secret rares. That's what it says on top. That's nuts. Too much.
And like this trainer Cynthia card, $117.
Wow. Yeah, that's nuts, man.
2 sold at that price too, so people are actually paying that.
Yeah.
Here's the Sinnoh Friends I was telling you about.
Yeah, let me see that one. Yeah, that's cool. I think you like those more than I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always liked the trainer cards.
Yeah. That's cool.
Tim, I was telling Jess I got an email this morning from TCG Player, and One Piece has a TCG now.
A lot of animes are doing that. I know they had Seven Deadly Sins, which is really cool. What is it like? Schwartz, is that the company?
Yeah, Weiss Schwartz.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. I know Rudy has a lot of unboxings of different animes. They're kind of expensive though, like a box.
The chase cards are, yeah.
Yeah.
And the I don't know if either of you have watched videos on it, but they do limited allocation of those where they actually take the orders and then they make the product. So there's very little that gets left
They don't
in
do
circulation.
waves and
Right.
whatnot. Wow. Yeah, would you be into it, Tim? Or you just think it's cool?
Not that specific one. I wanted to do Seven Deadly Sins for a while, but I never pulled the trigger. It's kind of expensive because, like you said, it's a couple years older, so their boxes aren't $70 like the new sets. They're like $150 to $200.
Gotcha.
So it kind of gets expensive after a while if you don't get it right then and there, because they're only $75 for a box when they first come out.
There's a couple of merchants at Anime Weekend, if we get to go next year, that sell Weiss Schwartz singles. So maybe you can check them out when we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, man, that's that was it for the collectibles. So the Legos. I thought you want to talk about the Lord of the Rings.
He was very excited, and now he's like,
I forgot about those, honestly. Yeah, that's it. Well, me and Tim were talking about it earlier. They finally announced that Lego's bringing back Lord of the Rings. They're starting with, it looks like just brickheads and then one massive set.
yeah.
Who are the brickheads?
Frodo and Gollum, Aragorn and the girl, I think. And then I think there's the two hobbits.
No, they're doing the big beast with,
Balrog and Gandalf.
yeah.
That one would be pretty sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're only doing 3 small brickhead sets, so 6 characters in total, and then they're just doing one massive $500 set.
No Legos?
No Legolas.
What's the 500 set?
Rivendell.
Like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
March. You got time.
I got time. Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they post it on their actual website.
I've seen like mock photos of it, and it's
Will
pretty
it-
intense.
Will it be like the Christmas tree where it just goes live
At midnight.
at
For-
midnight?
Yep.
It will
VIP.
sell out.
Yeah.
I can almost promise you it'll sell out.
Are either of you doing day one?
I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it.
It's been so long since they've done a Lord of the Rings.
Brickheads, I'm buying them. I'm buying all of them day one.
Would either of you build it?
Not right away.
I know Tim won't.
Is it going to be a thing where if you don't have some massive table to set it on, there's nowhere to put it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I can't remember where I saw the actual photo of it.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be, what do you think, at least 4,000 pieces.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big set because it's a city.
Yeah. It's going to be massive.
I think it's going to be totally worth it, though.
I need to see this.
Yeah. I'll try to find a photo of it. Someone leaked a photo. I can't find the original one yet, though. But, yeah, I'm going to be into them.
Yeah, they're coming in with a bang. They're not doing any small sets. They're just doing that big,
We're going to
massive
test the waters
drop.
with one of the largest sets we've ever made. And we'll see what happens. Yeah.
They know, though. They know.
It'll sell.
Yeah.
It'll sell. I imagine how many minifigs are going to come in that one. I better be more than like 8.
It better be at least 12.
8?
It better be at
It's gotta
least
be high.
12.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fellas. Let's land the plane.
All right. Cool.
Hey, next week, Christmas episode.
Yes. All things Christmas will be discussed.
Come
next week.
festive.
I'll be festive.
We know he will.
What day are we doing that on Friday night? Or
Friday night.
Friday night. Are you wanting to do Christmas pajamas?
Ooh. I can wear some.
Wasn't that a idea that was thrown around?
I don't
Unless
remember
y'all-
it, but I'll do it.
You guys had something else?
Yeah.
Here's the question.
Uh-huh.
It's the festive episode, so are you staying?
Staying the night? We'll see. I've got something Saturday morning.
Well, you can get there from here Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's around here.
Yeah.
Because, it's probably going to be like the gifts and the drinking and the,
The gifts and the drinking.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Giving gifts.
What episode is this?
This is 15,
15.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
In the books.
Christmas episode.
All right. Gia's next door, so I'm going to go say hi. You guys are welcome to join.
You're not stopping the show.